everyone, welcome back to another stream for today. And today, we're gonna be doing Matsuda's route. We just finished Mitsugi's route, so we're gonna be doing Matsuda. And the difference here is that you guys like Matsuda as well. Actually, you guys like Takara, but Matsuda is your second picked one, right? So we'll see. Do you think we can finish Matsuda's route today? If for those of you people that are watching this right now or watching this as a VOD, I recommend you guys to watch our first one. Okay, our first stream, because we're gonna be skipping all the intros and whatnot for this, because we're gonna be doing all the choices that supposed to be for Matsuda. So yeah. Mitsugi took a lot of time, so yeah, but in here we can just really choose the choices now. We know the general story of it, and if you guys don't know what the general story is, that we won a lottery to go into paradise and then bad things happen. We tried, because no rescue came for a couple of days, and there's like mysteries about the abandoned village and that inhabited island, and even some killings and mysterious disappearances from our fellow friends. And while those things happen, we also get to become gay. The biggest mystery of them all, because how could that be? I mean, why would you suddenly turn gay in an island full of guys and you're stuck there for like almost a week? Those are good times. What are you talking about, Ube? Those are good times? We shall reach Takara soon. Yes! Okay? I don't think this game will, or I don't think Matsuda will take that long. Okay, so I'm very excited with Takara. I really don't know what they're gonna do with that. But let's go and check that out. Anyways, let's go and play Paradise. Wrong one. Oops, not that one. Okay. I can't wait for those scenes that was flashed at us on the start of the game. Yeah. You're right, we have to do that again. Okay. Okay, we're gonna skip this, right? Do you guys want me to skip this? I mean, or do you guys want me to not skip this? We can fix this, alright? Yeah, let's skip this. Let's skip this. Oh, the intro though. The intro is not gonna be skipped. I'm speedrunning it. Look, it's Hongo. Look, it's Takara. It's Mitsugi, who looks very mean at us. And look, it's Matsuda. Aww. Those are the only three things here. Those are the only three love interests that we have. Okay, let's go to... Let's see. Let me just check what... Okay, let's go here. Okay. I'd be spending all my time with these guys over the coming days, so it wouldn't hurt to get to know some of them a bit better. Oh yeah, it also shows if you've read it before, if it's blue. Only the gay boys stay. Okay. I went around the cabin to the other side of the deck, where I spotted Matsuda and Hongo having a conversation. Awesome. If it were a group of friends, or that foursome, it would have been hard to join in. Hongo was the first to notice me eagerly approaching them.
Oh yeah, Azuma-san.
He raised his hand in greeting, and Matsuda turned to look at me too.
なんだお前、こんなとこうろついてたのか。中で飯でも食ってこいよ。
チーっす。誰かと話して気分でさ。あんまり腹減ってねえし、飯は後から食うよ。
This is before we're in the paradise. I stopped in front of them and let my heavy bag slip to the floor. Matsuda frowned at me.
はあ、育ち盛りなのに小食気取りか。そんなんだと体力持たねえぞ。ガンガン肉を食え。
Matsuda is pretty sus, what the heck? Yeah, he's talking to Hongo. Ooh, but ow!
うん。肉しか食ってねえ。野菜は嫌いだ。
I can stand vegetables. The thing is, with vegetables, you don't really... I mean, you shouldn't make vegetables the main dish if you don't like vegetables. Like for me, I like cabbages because they don't really taste like anything. So what sometimes I would do is I would grab some canned tuna and then I would just put lots of cabbages there as like filler or something, or maybe I don't know if that's even healthy, but like it has vegetables. Yeah, yeah. Matsuda blinked, taken aback by my response, and he frowned deeper. Meanwhile, Hongo covered his mouth with his hand to stifle a laugh.
野菜も食えよ。
それ耳たこ。
いかがですか？
Oh, have
旅
you
は
guys
満喫されてますでしょうか？
tried those like mixed vegetables? You know, there's like frozen mixed vegetables, and they have like peas, they have carrots, and they have corn. I don't remember what it is, and I don't know. I swear, I remember buying one because I thought it'd be cool. But I swear, every time I would eat it, it's always peas. And I'm sorry, but I don't like peas. Okay, I don't like them. They're mushy. Yeah, I don't like it. I prefer if it's only like, I mean, I'm fine with corn even. I'm fine with corn, carrots, but not peas.
まだ行きの船に乗ったばっかじゃん。でも船旅は満喫させてもらってるよ。景色見てても海だけだし、全然島に近づいてる気がしなくて面白い。
なんだそりゃ。
実際はきっちり近づいてますから、東さんにとっては退屈かもしれませんね。
Look at Hongo being friends with everyone.
では、私はそろそろ戻りますね。お二人とも良い旅を。
Broccoli? I love broccoli. Broccoli is yummy. Especially beef and broccoli. Cauliflower is also nice. It's just broccoli, but it's white. And carrots. I love carrots. But if I'm gonna eat carrots, on something, it shouldn't be like, there should be less because it's too sweet. With an elegant bow, Hongo took his leave. I guess what I'm saying is, for me, I prefer vegetables not to be sweet. Like, I would add them on something salty, I would add them on something savory, so I won't really taste the sweetness of vegetables, because vegetables are sweet, right? I mean, I guess carrots. Carrots are sweet, and there's another vegetable that I don't remember what it's called, but that one is also, what do you call it? That one is also sweet. Matsuda went over to an ashtray by the bench, pulled out a cigarette from his pocket and lit up.
何の話してたの？
大したことねえ話だよ。島がどういう場所なのかパンフにあんまり説明載ってなかっただろう。それを聞いてた。
あ、それ俺も聞きたかった。結局どんな感じだって？
無人島だけど皆さんが想像されてるような場所とはちょっと違いますよってさ。どの辺がどう違うのかは到着してのお楽しみだと。
なんか楽しみになってきた。
もともと楽しみにしてたんじゃないのかよ。
He laughed, revealing white teeth. Does it really do we need to be that detailed for that? The more I spoke with Matsuda, the more he struck me as a guy who was the very picture of health.
無人島って知った時はビビった。松田はそんなことなかった？
ねえなあ、むしろワクワクしたよ。無人島だぞ。めったに行ける場所じゃねえだろう。
If I wasn't definitely suspicious of Takara, Matsuda is definitely suspect number one. Okay, what if the suspect is not both of them, but us?
なんつうか、見た目通りにポジティブなんだな。
お前は見た目に反してネガティブなわけだ。
It's Azuma all along. Resting on one hand on the back of the bench, Matsuda flashed me with a teasing smile. I squinted, trying to avoid the smoke drifting from him.
別に普通だと思うけどね。
で、ミステリアスと。
I could hear the smile in his voice. I looked down at the swirling sea as it sealed itself back together in the wake of the boat cutting through the water. Using the roar of the waves as an excuse to stay silent, I said nothing. Okay. Is this where we skip? There we go, skip. Oh my god. When the paradise now are one. Oh my god, that actually took a while, huh? Okay. Did you guys want to know a fun fact, by the way, of Mitsuki? Mitsuki has 4 bad ends and 1 good end. It's the same with Matsuda as well. Okay, let's go to the beach.
まずは海だな。
Wait, was it a choicer? No, this is it. It was the obvious choice on the desert island. Pure white sands without anyone around. The first thing I noticed when I got off the boat was how clear and beautiful the sea was with no one to taint it. I remember we read this because we were trying to find Takara, and then we realized at that point that we need to finish the 2 other routes first in order to go with Takara. Was the one earlier the good ending then? Yeah, it's definitely the good ending. I just had to swim in it, and there was no time like the present. Oh, look at that, Nightmare. You've been watching us for 30 days. I hurried back to my cabin and grabbed my beach shorts and bat towel before heading back out again and making a dash straight for the beach. Wasn't that good since we left Takara. Spinda is still a bit bitter about the whole Takara situation. Don't worry, Spinda. If we can finish Matsuda's route here, if we can finish Matsuda's route today, you know what that means? Tomorrow is Takara's route. I mean, we're gonna be playing with Yoshiro first, then Takara's route. It was a little chilly for swimming, but the weather was great and I was in high spirits, so I wasn't about to let a bit of cold water stop me. The sound of the waves welcomed me as I arrived at the beach. I took off my shoes and stepped onto the beach in my bare feet, smiling as my toes sank into the sun-warmed sand. You know, this actually fits as like, you know, for summer, right? As a summer game. Why shouldn't we should have played this during summer. I was just about to take off my jacket when I noticed someone further along the beach. They were holding what looked like a fishing rod.
Matsuda だな。
While I couldn't make out the figure very well, I knew who our resident fisherman was. I hate when sand sticks to my body. I hate that too. That is why I don't like bitches, okay? I've said this before. I don't like bitches, okay? I don't like going to the beach because all you get is sunburn, sticky sand in your feet, in your body, and salty seawater, okay? It's not even tasty. Why? Why do we do this, guys, when you can just go inside in your room, relax there, lay down with a cold air-conditioned room and eat something that you guys would want? If you would go outside on the beach and go eat there or something, there might be birds who would poop at you or grab at you, or I don't know. You prefer pool water, yeah. I didn't say that. I prefer going in malls or going in probably museums. I don't know. As I got closer to the figure, my suspicions were confirmed and I called out to him.
釣れてる?
You know, there's actually a food museum here. I wanna check that out.
おー、びっくりした。なんだ、お前も来たのか。
I peered into the bucket beside him, but all I saw was water. Catching my look, Matsuda admitted, a little bashfully, that he hadn't caught a single thing.
泳ごうかなと思って来てみた。ここの海くっそ綺麗だから。
This game is not even accurate. Azuma said that he took off his shirt and only wore his pants. So why is there no shirtless Azuma?
つか、釣れてねえのって意外なんだけど。他の釣り人いねえんだから取り放題なんじゃないの？なんつうの？
There's a food
針パチャーン
museum.
ってやったら入れ食いみたいな。
Do you want to see a shirtless Azuma? No. That's you, guys. That's on you.
そう。俺も想像の中ではそうだったんだよ。大量だったんだよ。
You know what I really want to go to? I want to go to that Nintendo museum. That would be so cool.
けどかかんねんだよ。おかしいな。潮の流れも不規則だしな。
Inaccurate game. Yeah.
餌が合ってないのかな。磯目じゃダメか。そんなことあるかな。わかんねえ。
Matsuda twisted around and pulled out a plastic case. I peered into it to see a mass of tin, thread-like creatures squirming around inside.
何それ
Eh.
ミミズ
あ、磯目だよ。知らねえの？
I've never
餌だ
tried
よ。
fishing.
釣りの。
I never tried fishing before. Matsuda pinched a worm between his fingers, holding it at either end, and tore it in two without even flinching.
よく素手でやんねえそんなこと
最初は軍手とか使ってたんだけどな。そのうちいちいちはめるのが面倒くさくなってくんだよ。
He impaled the bisected worm on a hook, then tossed it into the sea. I watched to see what he'd do with his warm soiled hand, but he just wiped it on his clothes. Ew! Why in the clothes? You're literally in the sea. You could have just washed your hands in the water. A truly fearsome fisherman. Matsuda held firmly onto his fishing rod as he looked out at the placid sea. I sat down beside him to gaze at it too.
磯目なんで半分にすんの
もったいねえから。半分にすりゃ2回使えんだろ。今あんのがなくなったら自分で探さなきゃなんで。なかなか見つかんねんだこれが。
Hello there, Ultra Cat. Yeah, that's nasty, right? With worms, am I right? Worms?
お前は泳がねえのか？
ああ、そうしよっかな。
I got too caught up in thinking about the worm's fate. But I was here to have fun! I turned my thoughts in a more positive direction as I shrugged out of my jacket. Then I realized Matsuda was looking up at me. A startled expression on his face. Oh, so we haven't took off our shirt yet. Oh, there we go!
ジロジロ見ないで、エッチ。
Yeah, Matsuda was staring at us. That's weird.
お前意外といい体してんなって。T シャツになるとよくわかるな。
鍛えてっからねバイトで。重いもの持ちますから。
Matsuda laughed as I mimed lifting up a cardboard box.
泳ぐならちょっと離れたとこで泳げよ。半魚人釣る予定はねえからな。
せめて人魚って言え。見よこの華麗なクロール。
I managed to trip over my own feet as I attempted to dive in, but a crystal clear ocean was just as amazing as I'd hoped. Okay. I guess we had fun swimming then. This is paradise so far. Okay, we skip now. We skip again. The camera! No! The camera! Let's go clamming.
そういや、潮干狩りできそうな場所あったんだよな。ちょっとそこ行ってくれ。お前はどうする？
How about you, Takara? Do you want to join with us so you're not that suspicious?
ふーん。でかい貝たくさん取ってきてね。けど、俺はまず部屋の片付けかな。昨日引きこもってたからかなり汚しちゃって。
Really? You're gonna clean the whole day?
片付け？
Yeah, Azuma, go tell him.
バカンスだぞ。貴重な時間なんだから遊びに使わないともったいねえって。片付けなんてやめちまえ。外出だ外出。
じゃあ東、俺の部屋片付けに来てくれる？洗濯物と食器の洗い物めっちゃ溜め込んでるよ。
Why is there even a stack of dirty dishes, Takara? Is this our second day already?
絶対行かない。
See, isn't that suspicious?
ほらね。じゃ、また後でね。はあ
Takara heaved a deep sigh, and I gave him an encouraging wave as he turned and trudged back to his cabin. Taking a shovel and bucket from the storehouse, I hummed to myself as I headed toward the beach. Okay.
いい具合に引いてんな。
As I walked along the path to the seashore, I spotted a golden stretch of sand peeking out from between the rocks. The shovel clanged around in the bucket as I raced toward the strip. When my toes hit the sand, I found it nice and waterlogged, perfect for clam digging. I was practically drooling as I imagined all the big, juicy clams I was going to find.
俺が掘り出してやるからな。隠れても無駄なんだからな。
Do you guys eat clams? I don't know. The clams. I'm sorry, but clams look disgusting. Am I gonna get killed now? I don't know. I'm sorry because don't people just get clams and then we just eat it like numb? I do not enjoy clams. I remember there was like this video that I watched. It's like a series or something called Man versus Food, and this guy ate like it's like a food challenge. He has to eat like so many clams. You're allergic to seafood. Oh. We eat it as clam chowder here. I don't like it. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. Sea creatures, seafood for me has really been weird. Like I don't like the thought of eating seafood. Not because I care about them. It's just because they are like aliens for me. Except tuna. The canned ones. Although the chances of digging up anything as big as I was picturing were slim, I decided to ignore that reality for the time being. I patted the surface of the sand, looking for a good spot until I found a shallow puddle just begging me to dig into it.
ああ。
I mean, I like the cup noodle seafood one. Also, there are some like fried rice dishes, right, where they put like bits of shrimp. There were definitely clams under here. Crouching down, I gripped my shovel tightly and started to dig. And dig! And dig!
いない
Nothing.
なあほな。
Maybe you might find a Pikmin, Azuma. A water Pikmin. I had to be doing something wrong. I needed to get in the zone. I kept twisting the shovel and tossing away sand until... Nothing. Treasure, no? I got to my feet in disbelief.
さっきから何やってんだ？いるだのいない。
いねえんだよカイが。こんなに潮引いてんのに。
Turning around, I saw Matsuda standing there with a fishing pole and a bemused expression on his face. What did you miss, Ui? Nothing much.
いや、潮とか関係なくよ。海がどんだけ広いと思ってんだ。そこら中に貝があるわけねえだろう。
はあ。なるほど。分母がでけえから確率が低いってことか。
That kind of doesn't make sense, right? What? The concept clicked in my head. Really?
で、松田釣りに来たの？
Oh. The answer was obvious, but I asked anyway, fiddling with a shovel in my hands.
そうだけど帰るとこだ。俺見てみ。
He shifted the cooler box from under his arm and opened the lid to show me one tiny fish. Aw, we got a tiny fish!
ああ。これだけ？
これだけ。
It made me feel better, knowing I wasn't the only one coming up empty-handed. Still, what were the odds of both of us having such bad luck?
ほら、海は広いから仕方ねえよ。あ、で、これはなんつう魚なの？
俺ももうわからん。深海魚でも当たったかな。
Deep sea fish? He sounded defeated. It seemed like he was having trouble accepting his own advice about the sea being too big for just one man. I knew nothing about fishing, so I just nodded non-committally.
とりあえずあれだ。釣れなかったんだったら代わりに一緒に貝探そうぜ。
You know, this is refreshing, right? This is refreshing being in Matsuda's route. No one's trying to kill us, you know? And we're just all relaxed. What do you mean, awu? He shot me a look, seeming unconvinced, but then
いいけどよ。
he agreed, a bit enthusiastically, and I passed him the bucket and shovel.
あ？俺が使っていいのか？お前
I'm
の分は？
missing... You're missing the violence from earlier? Don't worry, it's a soul buildup.
それ1個しかねえから代わり番号で使おう。それまで手で掘って探すからさ。10分くらい経ったら交代しようぜ。
お、わかった。
Okay. They didn't find anything. A while later... No, this is not Mitsugi's route, Zia. This is a new one. I was making a sandcastle by myself. I hadn't come across a single clam. Matsuda was nowhere to be seen. Maybe he'd walked over to the rocky area further along the beach. Picking up a slimy branch that had been washed in by the tide, I stuck it into the very top of the sandcastle. Yeah, Zia, do you want to guess? The Kara was the killer. He was the one behind all of this. We learned that in the Mitsuki's route. Do you believe me? I felt pretty good as I... Okay, I'm joking, okay? No, I'm sorry, Zia, I'm sorry! No. What happened was that they got rescued. But only Azuma and Mitsugi got rescued. Takara and Matsuda were both stuck in the island. Takara possibly died, and Matsuda is just gone. Yeah. So what route are we on? We're on Matsuda's route now. I felt pretty good as I admired my handiwork. It had turned out a lot better than I expected. I bet tons of people could live in a castle this big. It'd be home to the king and his queen, princesses, and tons of servants. And they'd all live happily ever after. Just perfect. I was only filled with the urge to kick it down, stamp all over it, and crush it for the lie it tried to tell. Huh?
何やってんの？それ。
A voice behind me interrupted my thoughts, and I spun around.
あれ、松田、おかえり。
Yes, we're gonna be with Takara's route.
おかえりじゃねえだろ。何やってんだっつの。
何って城作ってんだけど。見てこれ、結構上手にでき。
Matsuda's cold gaze pierced through my forced smile.
ぼっちで？
他に誰がいるんだよ。
What is with Matsuda now? Do you guys know how to make sandcastles? I want to make my own sandcastles. I remember making a pyramid because I don't have a bucket.
せっかく広大な砂浜が広がってんのに？
俺一人しかいないみたいで、なんか安心感すら覚え。
What?
暗い!
Huh? All of a sudden, he swung his fist toward my castle. I hurriedly brought up both hands to stop him. Stop! This is my sandcastle!
はあ！何やってんだ！俺の城だぞ！
だから暗いんだよ。背中がすすけてんだよ。もっとやることいっぱいあるだろうがよ。走り回ったり、夕日に向かってバカ野郎って言ったり、いろいろあるだろうが。
He's not an asshole. He's just depressed. Like nothing interesting is happening here.
もっと楽しめよ。アウトドアの醍醐味を。
Guess the sight of me and my lone sandcastle really got to him. But what was with those suggestions?
で、カイはどうした？探せたのか？
Tackle him into the sand.
探したよ。手で掘って。 見ろこの手。泥だらけで悲惨だろ。探しすぎてこんなんなって。でも見つかんねえんだよ。どうなってんのこれ。
Why is everyone so mean to Azam while on their route? He's not that mean.
力説してるとこ悪いけど爪の間に泥が入ってるだけだぞ。
とにかくもういいんだよ。俺は砂の城を作ることに生涯を費やす。もう二度と貝なんて食わねえ。潮干狩りなんて二度と来ねえかな。
暗い暗い。いいから一緒に探すぞ。二人で掘ればアサリの一個くらい見つかるって。
They're just feeling depressed, everyone. They're trying to find a clam. They're trying to fish, and they can't find anything. Matsuda grabbed me by the arm and tried to pull me to my feet, but I dug in and held firm.
嫌だね。俺はもう完全にイチケてっかんな。砂の城の高さが1メートルに達するまではこっから動かねえかんな。
Go, Azuma, go! I love sandcastles.
ゴージョっぱりめ。あっちの方を探そうぜって。ほら、だってほら、アズマ。
いやだ。
Okay, now Azuma, you're just being childish.
とりあえず一回立てって。もっ
As Matsuda gave my arm a sharp tug, I saw him stagger. His back foot slipped, and the next moment, he was falling forward toward me. Oh no! Things got gay so quickly!
危ねえ。
Whoa, what the? Whoa, what? Without a moment hesitation, I stuck out both of my arms to catch him before he went crashing down into the sand. Huh? Sudden gay jump scare? Is this a dramatical murder censoring? I don't know. No, it's not. They skip all the weird scenes. My braced legs quivered under Matsuda's weight. Okay, this is gay right here.
間一髪。
I mean, you could just let him fall onto the sand. You just made it more awkward.
だな。
Sorry, the music. I managed to catch him mid-fall, supporting his weight at an angle. Arms around him, I supported his muscular body until he was able to regain his sense of balance. The chest grabbing was important to the plot. Wait, he was grabbing his chest? Even through my jacket, I could feel the warmth of his body where my chest and arms were pressed against him. He was far warmer than me. Hot-blooded, you could say. A real summer kind of guy. The smell of sunshine seemed to radiate from him, like lying outside on a lazy sunny day. The realization that it was Matsuda's scent that made my heart skip a beat. Oh my god, Azuma likes boy smell. Or something like that. What the hell? Why was I suddenly so nervous? Matsuda was the guy. It makes sense if he was a cute girl, but he very much was not. He has a thing for musk, gay, ew. Everything was silent. I panicked internally, wondering if he could tell how flustered I was.
そろそろ大丈夫話しても。
This is faster than Mitsuki. I think our first interaction with Mitsuki was Mitsuki, pushing us through the water.
もう。
Yeah, wasn't Azuma looking for girls like an hour ago in this game? Yeah! You've heard of the beach that makes you old. Get ready for the beach that makes you gay. Snapping back to his senses, Matsuda shook off my grip and laughed as he righted himself. I found myself laughing idiotically too, relieved that my castle was still standing.
悪い。ナイスキャッチ、アズマ。泥だらけになるとこだったわ。
いいえ、こういう時は助け合うべきですから。集団行動ですから。
じゃあお前が転びそうな時は俺に任せとけよ。あと貝探す時は今度こそ最初から一緒にやろうな。
だから金輪際二度と行きませんから。
ひねくれやがって。
But the sun was still high in the sky, and I figured it wouldn't hurt to keep going until it started to set. And that was all thanks to Matsuda. Okay. Are we skipping again? That was our first gay interaction with Matsuda. What's gonna happen next, I wonder? Cook the curry. If it was a choice between laying the table and making curry, I'd choose curry every time. It's not like I hated cooking, and making something for the group to eat would be an accomplishment I could be proud of, or so I could told myself. For the time being, I headed over toward the big curry pot. Oh, are we gonna help Matsuda cook food? Matsuda had placed his chair beside a small faucet so he could use it while chopping and prepping the ingredients. Peering over his shoulder, I announced my presence.
よ、カレー作りお疲れさん。
What is it, the preparations or Matsuda? He must have noticed my approach because he didn't seem the least bit surprised.
おお、手伝いに来たのか。手足りてるっつってんのに。
He raised the small knife he was using as a peeler to return my greeting. In his other hand, he held the half-peeled potato.
ああ、そもそも他の仕事がねえよ。バカンスに来てるわけだろ、ここに。掃除用具だってねえよ。だからここ手伝うよ。カレーだったら俺も作れるし。
Matsuda's eyes widened.
お前、料理できんの？
Does he think of us as a kid? Matsuda, of course we can cook.
すげえ意外そうな顔してるね。
I mean, Azumu was supposed to make curry. He makes curries all the time.
いや悪い。生活能力なさそうって思ってた。
Okay, Matsuda is just mean now. What do you mean we don't know how to be an adult? He apologized good-naturedly while slipping in another insult. Yeah, okay, he's mean with us, but in a different way. He's mean because he thinks of us as a youngster. Regardless of what gave him that impression, I wasn't gonna take it lying down.
そりゃこっちのセリフだろ。松田こそカレー以外に何か作れんのかよ。
カップラーメンとか。
Oh, look at that! Only curry and cup in instant noodles? Come on.
それ料理じゃねえだろ。
Yeah, that's not cooking. You don't even know how to cook a fried egg. I stepped back and Matsuda remained peeling the potatoes. Although he'd said he was no chef, he seemed pretty skilled with a knife. The potato skins twirled downward, collecting in a plastic bag below. He worked both skillfully and efficiently.
いい主婦になるな。
A great house husband. I intended it as a throwaway joke. But Matsuda paused for a beat before responding.
結婚はする気ねえかな。
What? Really, Matsuda? There was a tinge of self-derision to his tone. Meanwhile, the knife continued moving like it had a knife of its own. Killer Matsuda? It sounded to me like he had a serious reason for his decision, but maybe it wouldn't hurt to ask.
なんで？
I crouched down beside him to take a carrot from the bowl, and Matsuda offered me a peeler. As I took it from him, our hands touched briefly. Okay, that's not really gay, that's just you guys touching each other. What's wrong with guys touching each other? It's not even gay. The setting sun cast his eyes into shadow.
その方が気楽だからだよ。お前にはわかるかな。寂しがり屋っぽいからな。
The needy type? I mean, Matsuda's kinda right. We saw Mitsuki's route, right? Hello there, Oppo, Ovo. Hello there, welcome.
俺も結婚願望とか特にねえけど。
Really?
ああ、女はいんの？
いいね。欲しいんだけど知り合う機会もねえし、告白されねえし金もねえし。
つれ。でも俺も一緒だ。
Huh. In the end, Matsuda's reasons weren't as complex as I thought. Sure, he might not be telling me the truth, but that was his prerogative. Lifting the carrot up high, I ran the pillar down its orange body.
女の服もこんな風にスルッと脱げればいいのにな。
What?
ブラジャーだのストッキングだのなんちゃらベルトだの戦士かよ。武装しすぎなんだよ。
Okay.
戦士の鎧が一枚ずつ脱げていくのがいいんじゃねえか。
This is the straightest thing from this game.
めんどくせえ。松田はまどろっこしいの好きそうだもんな。
What is Azuma on about? We kept up the crude conversation right up till it was time to add the curry paste. There's nothing like a little smut for added flavor. A little smut? What? Okay. So we cooked our curry then. Okay. And skip. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Smut adds flavor, I see. I still don't know what is smut. Smut is smut, right? Wait. Really? Wait. Okay, this is interesting. They said in the root that I'm looking at, the root guide for this game, they put fish, this one, and not gather vegetables. Interesting. I'm gonna save just in case. I don't know why would they think it's that one though. I mean, I get it, right? Matsuda likes fishing. You're getting the world record while going this fast. Okay, let's fish then. Matsuda would be fine on his own, and I didn't want to be left with the blonde bastard.
じゃあ俺釣りしに行きます。松田、釣り道具貸してよ。
Is easy mode lying to us? I don't know.
それは別にいいが、一人でちゃんとやれんのか？
Okay.
やってみなきゃわかんねえだろ。とにかく俺は釣りがしてえ。
はいはい。じゃあログハウスまで取りに来い。
So I decided to go fishing on my own. We are being lied to. See, this is why I double check. However, while I knew the basics of how to fish, the fish themselves weren't so dumb either. I tossed my line into the sea and waited, and waited, and waited, but I didn't get a single bite, even a nibble. This is the real fishing experience, right everyone? You just wait there for something to happen, and then you got it. I think there should be, I think we should invent something, like an automatic fishing rod, right? You just place the fishing rod there, and if there's some sort of movement, they immediately reeled it in automatically, right? Plus, I was starting to get sleepy, which couldn't be helping matters. But seriously, the fish just weren't coming. Was I doing something wrong? I reeled in the line and checked the hook. The bait was gone. What?
マジかよ。取れちゃったんかな。
I like how Azuma just admitted defeat. Screw it. I was just not cut out for this. Out of options, I decided to put the rod aside and consider trying to catch something with my bare hands.
ああ、森とか作れねえかな。アマさんみたいにこう素潜りして森で仕留めるみたいな。
I didn't have the faintest clue how to make a net, though I bet Matsuda knew. Still, even if we could make a net, there was probably other stuff I'd need. Goggles and a snorkel? Maybe fins too? Frigging, that would be a way more efficient method than sitting on my ass waiting for the fish to come to me. I decided to suggest it to the others when we regrouped. In the end, I was so busy of thinking other ways to fish that I didn't catch anything at all. Oh, so nothing happened. Interesting. When I got back, I shared my diving suggestion with the group. However, we didn't know what the currents were like, or what poisonous creatures might be lurking beneath the waves. And on top of that, we didn't have any of the necessary diving equipment, so my idea got the boot. Oh, nothing happened. Yeah, that's interesting. Now it's day 6. This is when things starts to get scary. Yeah, the music. And the burning. Oh my god, the burning, guys. Scary. I remember this. The killing. Oh my god, things keep getting worse and worse. Wouldn't the auto-reel thing need a way to detect if it was a fish or it's another thing, so it doesn't reel in random stuff and instead only fishes? Yeah, we can like put like a camera into it, right? We can use a camera so if it detects a fish, it just automatically does it. Let's call Matsuda over now. The first person who came to my mind was Matsuda. He was big and strong. He'd be the best person to get a handle on this shit show. Oh wait, what is this? I dashed to his cabin and pounded on the door. Oh yeah, the boat! This is where the boat was being stolen. My frantic voice must have immediately alerted him to the seriousness of the situation. The door was whipped open while I was mid-knock.
どうした？
ボート持って2人逃げた。海の方行った。何も聞いてねえからよくわかんないけど、一応追いかけた方がいいかなって。
Matsuda's eyes widened as he processed my words.
わかった。お前急いで本郷さんを起こして連れてこい。
As I hoped, Matsuda immediately set off running, his powerful legs eating up the ground. Okay, while I went to pound on Hongu's door.
どうされました？
ロン毛とメガネがボートを盗んで行きやがった。
すぐに行きます。
Hongu and I rushed toward the beach. Okay. When we arrived at the water's edge, the boat was already out on the sea with Glasses Guy aboard. Meanwhile, Matsuda was on the beach grappling with long-haired guy. What? Catching sight of us, Matsuda jerked his chin in Glasses' direction.
止めろ！そんでボート引き上げろ！
了解。
Oh? I was about to wade into the shallows when Longhair punched Matsuda, sending him sprawling, and launched himself at me, grabbing me from behind.
てめえ、こら動くんじゃねえ！何すんだ！離せよ！
He had me well and truly pinned. It was like the adrenaline had given him super strength. Was Matsuda okay after that punch?
てめえ！早くしろ！本郷も来たぞ！わーってるっつの！
Honku spoke authoritatively to Glasses, who was reaching for the oars.
夜の海に出るなんて危険です。
うるせえ！おら！
So is this gonna be a different thing? Like the boat was safe after all? I went down face first in the water, tossed aside like a ragdoll. For a moment, I felt like I was drowning. When I finally managed to raise my head, I saw people running down to the beach behind Hongo. Mitsugi, Takara, and Shimada were there, but Crew Cut wasn't with them.
何やって。
Spotting the boat, Mitsugi froze in place. Takara dashed past him. Takara!
東大丈夫？
They love drowning Azuma, huh? Yeah.
まあ大丈夫。それよりボート。
My eyes stung from the salt water, so I couldn't see properly. But Longhair must have leaped into the boat after shoving me aside.
二人だけで逃げようっていうこと？
Shimada stood beside Mitsugi, staring out over the water. Everyone followed his gaze. Holding a hand to his head, Matsuda let Hongo help him to his feet and glared after the departing pair as they rowed away.
自分らがどんなことしてるか分かってんのか？あんたら。
Oh, there you go. Now they
ゴ
escape.
ムボートなんかで本土まで戻れる算段でもあんのかよ。どんだけ距離があると思ってんだ。
Oh my
じゃ
god.
ねえか。生きてってんだから行かせとけよ。
Matsuda's so angry. Mitsugi stood unmoving, arms folded, a hint of disinterest in his tone. Matsuda responded sharply. I'm just reading this just in case, since it is related to, you know, to Matsuda.
まるで人事みたいだな。
ゴムボートなんかなくなっても他のもんで代用できる。
Hello there, Mitsugi.
そういう問題じゃ。お願いです。戻ってください。
As the two drew further and further away, Longhair looked back at us and laughed.
ボートを使わせたくなくて必死だな。
You guys are stupid.
違います。危険だからです。海に出るならせめて朝まで待ってください。夜は本当に危ない。
うるせえ。んなこと関係ねえ
Oh my
な。
god.
俺たちはもうここにはいたくねえんだ。
Do you guys wanna guess what's gonna happen with Matsuda's route?
死ぬかもしんねえぞ。
そりゃここにいたって一緒だろ。
More fire. In no time at all, their silhouettes were swallowed up by the darkness. The waves rose up and crashed down, sending droplets of spray flying. There, I think we can skip there. I think that's a good one. But yeah, after that, I think we found the guy again. We're back, right? I remember that. The guy is back. That long-haired guy, but we didn't get to see Sinclair. The Sinclair-looking guy. The yellow-haired guy. So, okay. Let's go and join the food gathering team. Maybe I should help look for food. Without sustenance, we wouldn't be able to do much else. Silence oozed over us and pulled around our feet. Matsuda was the first to dispel the murky mood. I'm glad you didn't skip all that because that was when I missed the stream. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I mean, I'm glad. Sorry, not sorry.
まずは半分けだ。つっても誰がどっちに向いてるかなんてやってみないとわからない。
Wait, isn't Takara also in the food gathering club?
後で班を変えたって構わないから、みんなまずはやりたい方を教えてくれ。
Matsuda's instructions were usually pretty compelling, but there was less vigor to his words today. As he looked around the group, he seemed lethargic, like the heavy mood was weighing down on him. But at the same time, the light of determination shone in his eyes. He wanted to get back to the mainland. I mean, why wouldn't he? It was what any normal person would want. Barely awake and I'm already being yelled at. I don't even know what for. I think that person that woke you up angrily is just angry and wants someone to piss someone off. And don't piss off because that means they win. So what did that make me? While I didn't feel the same sense of impending doom, I didn't want to die out here. So maybe I had that same light in my own eyes? Whatever. My fucked up feelings didn't matter right now. With no period! I had a decision to make. Did I want to build the boat or look for food? It didn't really matter either way, so there was no point agonizing over it. So...
じゃあ俺、食料調達班。 船作る方だとなんだかんだで数字の計算とかしなきゃなんねえだろ。俺頭悪いから。
Matt and shit. And also, Mitsuki was there, Asuma, so good choice. I raised my hand and voiced my choice.
造船班がいい。細かい作業は好きなんだ。
Mitsuki looked over at Shimada, arms folded over his chest.
そうか、助かるよ。
お役に立てれば。
Takara, what about you? Takara tentatively raised his hand next.
食料を探したい。少しでも食べるものを多く見つけたい。
More Takara, everyone!
食料班。とにかく人手があった方がいいのはこっちの方だろう、当面は。
Takara nodded happily in Krukut Guy's direction.
では私は造船班に私のログハウスにある機材をいつでも提供できるように。
Matsuda nodded his approval, then raised a finger and pointed at us each in turn.
食料班は俺、東、宝、木戸さん。造船班は三木、島田さん、本郷さんか。
Okay.
この場にいない内村さんが作業できるまでに回復したら船作りに回ってもらえば人数はちょうど半々になる。ひとまずこれで行こうと思うんだがどうかな。
No one disagreed. Or maybe no one had the energy left to argue.
後から見舞いに行くつもりだから一応その時に言っとく。
Kato wasn't usually the type to do as he was told without some pushback.
ああ、頼む。後のことは船作りの方は三木に任せていいか。
問題ない。そっちもうまくやれよ。
Look at Mitsugi's evil eyes. Despite the circumstances, Mitsugi was as smug as ever.
任せとけ。みんなで協力してどうにかやるさ。そうだ、作業を終える時間はどうする？合わせるか？
そうだな。配給のこともあるし、とりあえず今日は18時まででどうだ？暗い中、無理して作業を続けて怪我でもしたら厄介だ。
そうだな。じゃあ、その時間に広場に集合しよ
う。わかった。島田さん、本郷さん、こっち。
He nodded to Matsuda, then beckoned to the other two in his group and strode off, blonde hair fluttering behind him. The rest of us gathered around Matsuda.
お腹すいた。
Aw, poor Takara being hungry.
だよな。
Yeah.
お前、大食いだしな。
Takara was hunched over, looking deflated. I mean, hell, was probably literally deflated. The man usually ate like a horse, yet he was having to get by on just one meal a day.
どこから探すとか何を探すとかそういう指針が欲しい。
There was no difference in Kato's demeanor. He was as curt as ever, but I felt like his cheekbones were slightly more pronounced. But okay, what is up with you? Okay.
まあ待て。出かける前に話しておきたいことがあってな。
I wonder what a bald Mitsuki will look like. Probably like a bald Zhongli. Matsuda looked around the group, then crouched down and indicated for the rest of us to sit too. As he waved his hand, I noticed that his fingernails had grown about 1 millimeter in length. Okay, that is too much! What do you mean you noticed? You looked for it! Why would you... That is too specific! Oh my god! How the hell did you notice that? It was a physical representation of the life he had lived since he came to the island. It's part of the lore, everyone! His body was trying to keep him alive. Sitting down cross-legged beside Matsuda, I stared down at my own hands where they rested atop my thighs. My nails had grown too. My body also wanted to survive. More obviously than my charred and smoldering soul.
今どれくらい食料が残ってるか覚えてるか？
と
Takara sat hugging his knees across us. He glanced at Crewcut guy beside him.
ああ、俺は全然覚えてねえわ。
What do you mean like me? What?
食材はギリギリまで切り詰めてたけど、みんなから集めた食材はもうほとんど残ってね。魚とか山菜取ったりで若干マシにはなってるが、今ある食材だけで食いつなげるのは1日1食でだいたいあと3日前後だ。
3 more days. The words hit me like a physical blow, and it didn't seem like I was the only one.
3日。
I heard Takara and Crewcut guy swallow hard. Meanwhile, Matsuda had the look of a wild animal about him. A wild animal caught in the inescapable jaws of a predator.
前後って言い方なのは腐ったり傷んだりで食えなくなったり、逆にみんなで探した食料が意外と多く集まる可能性もあるからだ。もちろん腐らせるようなヘマはやらかさないつもりだが、食料の保存なんて経験がない。うまくやれねえ部分が出てくると思う。
探すだけじゃなく、保存や配給も手伝った方がよさげ。
I had to speak up. I couldn't stand the look of deep resignation on Matsuda's face.
でも俺食料保存の知識はないよ。配ることはできると思うけど。
保存の知識どうこってなら俺もねえよ。
木戸さんはどう？
Kato scratched his head as he spoke in a subdued tone. Did anyone bring canning jars and a pressure cooker? Oh my god! You know about this canned things? Like, I remember I got into a deep hole. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I remember being in a I remember going in a rabbit hole on canning jars. Like, there's a big secret community around it about canning jars. And I was like, why? Because people that actually can their jars, and it preserves like really good, right? Hello there, Ghosty FPS. Thank you for following us. How are you doing today? You were in a deep hole, huh? No, I was not in a deep hole. I was in a deep rabbit hole. No. As Noir said, who's... I thought you were gonna say noise, as Noise said. Today is hydration day, huh?
こんな逼迫した状況だ。松田さんだってきついだろ。なのに松田さんだけに任せっきりにしてさらに負担をかけるのはいい気しねえ。けど正直俺もそういう知識はない。足引っ張る可能性の方がでけえな。
The thing that I'm worried what might happen in this route is that, is it going to be the same thing as Mitsugi? Are we gonna be locked up? Or is it going to be different? Do you guys have any guesses what's gonna happen with Matsuda's route? Is it gonna be more worse? Like, not the story, but like, you know, much worse, like, everything is gonna be more scarier for them? Or no? It's gonna be more tame? Are we going to see with Matsuda? I don't know. Matsuda shook his head.
サンキュな。でも大丈夫だ。せっかく俺を選んでもらったんだから、最後までやり遂げたいってのもあるし。
He chuckled brightly. Still, he didn't deny that it was a burden on him. After all, it was his neck that was gonna be on the line if anything happened to our supplies. Our life was in his hands, and the rest of us were content to keep pushing that responsibility onto him. We needed him to keep us alive. I wonder if Mitsuki will have motivation to burn the boat, since hurting Azuma won't be an effective threat. Yeah! All that pressure on the shoulders of just one person. The others' expressions were somber. They must have been thinking the same thing.
おいおいお前ら、そんな顔すんなよ。 そこまで深刻な話じゃねえんだって。
He waved his hands in the air, trying to ruse us out of our depressed silence.
いやだってさ、お前一人ばっか仕事が多いっつうか。
まあ、この時点で誰が保存を任されても結果は同じだ。だったら、俺が引き続きやってみる。それでいい。
でもさ、責任重大なことだっつうのに松田に任せっきりじゃ気持ち悪いよ。何か手伝うよ、俺。
Matsuda frowned.
その気持ちはありがたいけどな。全員でやったって結果は同じだから一人でいいっつったんだ。
言ってることはわかるよ。でも
それよりもっと大事なことがあるだろう。食い物の集め方とかな。
Matsuda forcefully changed the subject. Logically, I knew he was right.
もっと大事なことって？
Yet, it still felt like a rejection. Like I wasn't needed. Wait, really? Oh my god. I think there's gonna be a sadder route. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this.
なんだよ。手伝うのは大事なことじゃねえのかよ。
そういうこと言うなよ。
It meant to come across jokingly, but I guess it was obvious I'd taken genuine offense.
どうぞ。話の腰折っちまったな。
According to Matsuda, we had a small amount of fresh food, like meat and veggies, left. We needed to distribute this to people ASAP, before it went bad. We were pretty much out of green vegetables and fruit. Our remaining supplies were stuff that would last longer. Root veggies, beans, and canned and dried goods.
缶詰なら長く持つよね。あんまりお腹の足しにはならなそうだけど。
Now you all know about food, huh, Takara? You think human meat would last you up real good? Nodding, Matsuda put his hand to his chin and went silent for a moment, mulling something over.
ここで末永く餓死するまで暮らしてってやつはいねえよな。
Oh no. My heart stuttered in my chest. After all, I'd had such reckless thoughts back at the beginning of all this. Of course, I felt differently now. Mostly.
船が出来上がるまでどれくらいの時間がかかるかわからない。だから、長期戦も覚悟した方がいいだろう。
食い物はあればあるだけいい。そういうことだな。
Yeah.
そういうことだ。今はとにかく物量が必要だ。食えそうなものは全て持ってきてくれ。実際に食えるかどうかは二の次にして。
わかった。食べられるか判断しなくてもいいなら、いろんなものが見つけられる可能性が高まる。そういうことだね。
そういうことだ。
The way Matsuda grinned really ground my gears for some reason. Yet, Matsuda declared that we'd set off as soon as everyone had what they needed. The Kara and Kido nodded obediently, clambered to their feet, and headed for the storage hut. But I didn't feel like making a move right away. I was still sulking. I could see Matsuda's legs stopped in front of me. He was regarding me calmly. He stood angled forward with his legs planted slightly apart, ready to lead the way. There was something watchful and almost protective about his gaze. What's wrong, Azuma? That just pissed me off even more. It felt like how a teacher would look at a kid in their class who's a real handful. It wasn't looking at me as an equal.
ほら、何してんだ。行くぞ。
Interesting.
わかってるって。悪かったな、もたもたしてて。
I quickly brushed past him without meeting his gaze and hurried after Takara and Kido. Matsuda didn't say anything, and he didn't follow after me. Weird. Something off with Matsuda, everyone. I sat with my line in the water. I'd been at this for several hours now. My bucket held one tiny fish. What? They were working on a gay bomb to make people gay. What? What is it? Why would you drop a bombshell into us? Matsuda sat a short distance away, similarly engaged. Takara and Kido had set off into the woods armed with big plastic bags, sickles, and scissors, and they hadn't yet returned.
Oh,
I thought I saw the float move, but it turned out to be just my imagination.
なんだ気のせいかよ。
Interesting. Matsuda the fishing master had taught me a few tricks, but it hadn't helped. I glanced over at him. I recalled his calm, composed expression as he walked me through the steps. He'd clearly known I was in a bad mood, but he chose to ignore it. Maybe he didn't know how to handle my sulking, so he'd taken the more mature approach and moved past it. Or maybe my mood just didn't make that much of an impression on him. It was embarrassingly obvious that he wasn't obsessing over our early interaction like I was.
ワカメって食えるよな。
You can eat seaweed, right? Like, that's why there's like seaweed chips or something. I picked some slimy seaweed off the hook, tossed it aside, and cast my line back into the water.
俺って幼稚か？
Is that going to be this whole route? Like, Matsuda's gonna say, like, you know, or Azuma saying, like, you seem like a father to me or something, like a parent? Is that gonna be it? Is this gonna be weirder than we thought? It certainly seemed like a really dumb thing to be sulking about. A gay gas bomb, so everyone makes up gay, even you. What?
幼稚かな。
What do you mean, Daddy Matsuda? No. The little fuckers swam off with the damn bait again!
ああ、釣れねえ。
How many damn worms had I gone through already? Each time I tore one apart, I had to internally apologize to it. I wish I could get over it already. The worm currently being crushed between my fingers wriggled every now and then as though to remind me it was still alive. Poor thing. What did it ever do to deserve this? Yeah, just eat the worms. I ripped the worm in half, then squished the two halves together and speared them with the hook. Then I tossed the sinker out as far as I could. It flew through the air, out and out into the blue.
こりゃダメだ。きっと風が来てね。
Sinker layer. I really wonder if we'll ever read a visual novel that has the word sink and layer at the same sentence. Guys, it's time to stretch like what Azuma's doing right now. And then 5 minutes later, I got up and stretched, muttering like an old gambler having a bad day at the slots. Leaving my rod fixed in place, I headed over to Matsuda.
どうした？
釣れね
お前、
See clear?
網で漁してるわけじゃあるまいし、そんなにガンガン釣れるわけねえだろ。
え。カジキマグロが釣りてえのに。
森と船持ってこい。
ちえ。
Matsuda's profile was serene and statuesque as he stared fixedly out at the ocean. He was completely focused on his task. His demeanor clearly showed he didn't have time for small talk. This is getting awkward. Every time we're talking to Matsuda now, it's more awkward. Like, I kinda like Mitsugi now. I really thought that Matsuda will be nice. I was well aware that I shouldn't be wasting time either, but right now I just really wanted to talk to him. I didn't know where the urge came from. It was just there.
ため息をつくと幸せが逃げるって言うぞ。
だって釣れねえし。
じゃ、別なことするか。
Oh, what is it? Reeling in his line and finding the hook bare, Matsuda's shoulders slumped as he stowed the rod away.
別なことって何やんの？
キノコ取り。
Mushrooms? Doing something more active did sound better than sitting on my ass in silence. And the frustration that had built up over the hours of unsuccessful fishing was itching for a release.
いいけど。
なんだよ、素直じゃねえな。急に目キラキラさせやがってるくせに。
There were any numbers of reasons for why my heart suddenly flip-flopped in my chest. There was a pang of embarrassment that he could tell how desperate I was to stretch my legs. There was the thrill of happiness that came with having Matsuda's attention on me. Oh, this is really going to be like a parent thingy, right? Like, I wish I had this kind of attention from my parents before. Is that it? I don't know. And there was his damn smile.
飽きてたんだよ、ちょっと。釣れねえし。
Because remember, Asuma had like a weird thing? I mean, not weird, but like a sad backstory with his parents or something? It took a lot of skill to act like I was unmoved. But it kinda took the wind out of my sails when it worked.
じゃ、道具片付けろ。あいつらに合流するぞ。確か、廃墟の方に行くって言ってたな。歩いてりゃ会えるはずだ。
うん。
ほら、しけた面してんじゃねえよ。行くぞクソガキ。
Kiddo!
いった。
He slapped me hard on the back. I didn't want to think about why he was calling me kiddo. It hit too close to home.
ガキって5歳しか違わねえんだっつうの。
Of course, he was unfazed by my grumpy response. Oh,
あ
Takara.
れ東と松田釣りは
Well, nothing happened with fishing. Fishing was nothing. We didn't even get anything. We just got seaweed, Takara. Its cycle of abuse? Is Azuma's attracted to that? I think so. We came across Takara near the entrance to the village. It was rummaging in a plastic bag, but he paused when he noticed us.
粘っても釣れそうにねえからさ。こっちに合流した方が良さそうだと思ってな。
それでも少しは釣れたんだぜ。これ。
I held out the bucket and the car peered into it. He hummed thoughtfully to himself.
なるほど。これじゃあ今日分の食事には足りないね。
Are we going to be drowned by Matsuda this time?
めんどくない。その分、こっちで頑張るから。
あ、責めてないからね。勘違いしないでね。俺たちもさ、あれからそこそこいろんなものを取ってはいるんだけど、魚の分も補うとなるとまだまだ足りないから、みんなで一緒に張り切って探そう。
Takara's sunny disposition hit me right in the feels and brought a smile to my lips.
お前はいいやつだな。
んでしょ
That's very suspicious. What would you know? Ignoring Takara's cutesy smirk, Matsuda cast his gaze around the ruins.
ところで、キロさんはどこにいるんだ？
あの人には奥の方の森を探してもらってるよ。俺はこっち側、入り口の方を担当してたから。なんか用事あるなら呼びに行く？
いや、いい。俺らも探すぞ、アズマ。
おい。
Okay. Oh no. Matsuda and I picked an area of the forest. Remember when we were here? Something scary happened with Mitsuki. Matsuda and I picked an area of forest to search that bordered the village. The plan was to toss anything and everything into the plastic bag we placed on the ground, ready and waiting to be filled. Yet, even without worrying about whether they were edible or not, mushrooms and wild vegetables were hard to come by, and the bags remained sadly deflated. For a while, we rooted around in silence amid the fresh green scent of the woods. But time felt like it was dragging on endlessly, so I needed distraction. I conjured up a banal topic of conversation.
なんかさ、こっち側に立ってる家って結構でけえよな。
そうか？
There was a sharp crack, followed by a rustle as he tossed some kind of plant into the bag. Matsuda looked up at the nearby row of buildings.
金持ちが住んでた地区なのかもな。
ああ。昔の金持ちってどんな生活してたんだろう。
Yeah, maybe being rich back then was bad. I mean, like, what can you buy, everyone? You can't buy a Nintendo Switch 2 or that $1,000 Steam machine. What can you get? People, I guess? You can get people back then, right? But is that enough to justify? No, it's not. Because again, you don't have a computer, right? There's less stuff to buy back then. Maybe you can buy land? Maybe you can have your own army, right? Okay, wait. What are we talking about this? What are we talking about? Yeah, sorry.
歴史的なもんに興味あったりすんの？
I wasn't really. I was just making conversation.
近くの家の中覗いてみ。今とはそんなに変わんねえ生活だと思うけどな。
What are you planning, Ube? No, we were just having a conversation with me and all the chats.
ああ。
Matsuda jerked a thumb toward the closest stately but decrepit house. I got up and brushed the mud off my knees, then headed over to the house. Matsuda followed me. One of the windows gaped like a yawning hole in the wall. The glass shattered. I peered through it. I had to stretch up on my tiptoes to reach.
別に普通だな。
別に普通だろ。
I seemed to be looking into a living room. I could see a big table, some stained bits of cloth, and something that looked like a sideboard. The interior was weathered and dilapidated, but there was plenty of furniture left, even if it was mostly broken.
時代は感じるけどね。
Oh,
ちょっと待てよ。
ん？
what is it? Matsuda abruptly moved away from the window. I waited curiously as he jogged over to the next house, peered into it, and nodded to himself. Then he went and did the same thing at the next house, and then the next, until he returned after checking several.
やっぱりだ。
What do you mean?
なんだよ、どうした？
島に来た初日、廃墟に入ったろう。その何日後かにももう一度。あの時から少し違和感があったんだが。
So what's off, Matsuda? What?
うん。
家具だよ。
The furniture?
家具？
The what
それ
about
が
it?
どうかしたの？
Yeah.
今確認してみたら、どの家にも家具が残ってる。破損さえしてなきゃ生活できる程度にはな。
Are you trying to say, Matsuda, is that if they move, they should have brought their furniture as well?
え？ああ、そうか。
Most people would take their furniture with them when they move. Yeah, you're right. Even wealthy people wouldn't just up and leave everything, would they?
で、つまりどういうこと？
きっと急な強制退去とかがあったんじゃねえのかな。
Oh no, the mystery continues, everyone.
島の炭鉱閉鎖に伴って住んでいた炭鉱夫たちが全員退去になったって有名な島もあるだろう。
Oh.
それに似た状況か何かでさ。
なるほど。
Would people have to leave their furniture behind if they were forcibly evicted? I had no idea. I mean, it wasn't like it ever happened to me. I didn't really care about the island's history, but I had to admit it was kind of affecting to think about all the things that might have happened here.
そういえばここ炭鉱とかあんのかな。住んでた人たちって何して食ってたんだろう。
That's what I was also wondering. I remember just going through Google Maps, or maybe it was a GeoGuessr, but there was like just like an island somewhere, and they have like an airport there. And honestly, it looked the airport, it looked normal. But then you have to think about like they're in this very small island. And I'm like, why are they there? Why they have their own currency? Like, you know?
そうだな。自給自足とか、あとは漁業とかじゃねえか。周りが海だから。
We enthusiastically discuss our theories as we turn to foraging. Interesting. Before I knew it, the sun was already setting. Okay. Half of a baked fish, a small amount of stir-fried mushrooms, and wild vegetables, 1 cup of rice, a glass of water. Oh, okay, it's been interesting. The simple meal Takara and I cooked up with our rations was mouth-wateringly good. Oh look, we're with Takara! We're trying to preserve our condiments, so there was barely any seasoning, yet the second it touched my tongue, it was like a bolt of flavorful lighting. I could practically feel myself singing.
空腹に勝る調味料はないってのつくづく本当なんだなって思うよ。
Oh my god!
そうだな。なんかもううまいってだけじゃ表現できない何かがあるわ。
So just starve yourself, everyone, to make things taste better.
体にしみるって感じだよね、もう。
Bones? Takara stared down at his plate entranced, the LED light on the table reflecting off its perfectly clean surface. But a small meal hadn't been enough to fill my stomach, and staring at an empty plate was only making me more aware of that.
ダメだ、切りねえや。片すぞ。
Ow! What? Why would you do that? Why would you poke me?
うん。
I'm releasing my anger on Ube? What did I do? You're the one who woke me up late on my nap. I took Takara's plate away from him and started to wash up in a bucket of water we'd collected from the river. We'd practically licked them clean of every last morsel, so there wasn't much work to be done. Ow! Ow! Ow!
あー、月明かりあるし、俺本読む。東はどうする？もう寝る？
We are not talking that here. With a period, you're scaring me, Yoshiro. Thank you, Ue, for subscribing to us. Now you remove my collar. Yay! I'm saved! I came when I was finishing my sub? Oh. He probably needed to do something to distract from his hunger. And he was even willing not to use the light. What a good guy.
まだ寝るって感じじゃねえな。まあ、目悪くなるからずっと読むなよ。たまには遠くを見るんだぞ。つか、ライト使っていいんだぞ。
何お母さんみたいなこと言ってんの？ご心配には及びませんよ。ちょっと読むだけだから。ありがとう。
Yeah, more Takara. Screen time.
いいのよ。可愛い息子のためだもの。
Good little boy? Oh my god.
お母さん。
Okay, now they're just role-playing. What? That was weird. Neither of us had the energy to do much more than joke around a bit. Since we didn't have any other forms of entertainment, the choices were basically reading, tidying, or sleeping. Sleeping seemed like the best option, but I wasn't tired yet. In which case, I figured I should do something worthwhile.
はあ、明日の打ち合わせでもしてくっかな。
打ち合わせ？どういう？
ああ、今日食料集めしながら考えてたんだけどさ、まだ島の反対側の方行ってねえだろ。森を突っ切ってまっすぐ行った島の反対側の方な。
あ、言われてみればそうかも。何か食べるものあるかな？
And it's to eat over that way.
な、早いうちに確認しといた方がいいんじゃねえかと思って。
でもきっとすごく遠いよね。この島なんだかんだで結構広いし。
うん、めんどくせえけど背に腹は変えられねえかんな。
Sorry if I'm looking at this side here. I'm petting my cat. This looks like this would be the Takara route. I know, but don't be fooled. It's not, right, Temmie? Poor Temmie. I didn't even tell you guys this, but Temmie just puked again. Sorry for those people that are eating, by the way. But I got my food earlier, and then as I was about to eat, I was ready to eat, I have my appetite running. I saw Temmie on the floor puking again, and I was like, "Oh my god, why?" This feels like Camp Buddies. Temmie, don't worry. It was not a disturbingly puke. It was food for some reason. I don't know what it is. What is it, really, Temmie? Temmie got his vaccinations and even a deworming, so we don't really know what it is. Yeah.
わかった。俺寝てるかもしんないけど気にしないでいいからね。戻ってからも眠れなきゃ自由に過ごして。
まあいいよ。じゃあ行ってくんね。
うん、いってらっしゃい。
Oh, but wait, wait, did I miss something? Why is Matsuda here with us? Oh, okay, he's leaving. He's going to... It felt good. What do you mean it felt good? Wait, what? Wait, I'm so confused. What does that mean? Okay, so yeah, Azuma... What do you mean it felt good? Huh? No, that is the choice here. But what happened? Huh? It felt good? Was it a scene that we don't know? Oh my god,
Oh, おはよう。
So something happened. What? Was that a fragment? No. They what? Are we matching Matsuda? No, wait. No. Azuma left. See? Wait. I might be asleep when you get back. Yeah, see? So yeah. No. No. Huh? Yeah, the way this sensor is just makes us more confused. We're going crazy. I don't know. Yeah, that's a bit weird. I don't know what was that. It felt good. So were we doing something? I don't know. Okay. Okay. Matsuda stood tall and straight with the silvery morning sun on his back. A tent and other equipment for our trek lay at his feet. The air was filled by a salty haze and the green tang of grass. Matsuda was as peppy as ever. God. Good. That was good. What? What? What is happening with Azuma? So we're... Huh? I rubbed at my eyes and cracked my neck. After staggering back to my cabin last night, I forced myself to stay awake. Okay, so he did went to him. He went to him. Something happened. What do you think happened? I forced myself to stay awake until I'd finished getting things ready for today.
いやー、早起きってやっぱいいよな。
What do you think happened? Did they get freaky? Probably.
こう今日も頑張ろうっていう気がするよな。
And why is Matsuda so happy? And there's something I mean, look. I hope there's a lesson to all. Sex is important to the story.
そうっすね。
なんか元気ねえな。眠てえか？
別に。
Matsuda is happy for a reason.
これから遠出しようってんだから、もうちょっとやる気出してけよ。
I blew out a long, hot breath of air. I had to cool my head and try to act the same as before. Huh? Don't worry, everyone. Once we finish this entire series, I'm gonna try looking at some reviews on Steam and see what possible things we have missed during the whole thing. I'm not gonna show it, but you know, I want to at least end Paradise with understanding everything. So something did happen.
ため息をつくなっつの、縁起悪い。
I was about to tell him to stop being so superstitious, but it was probably pointless with this jock.
ごめん。早起き苦手でさ。
I grumbled, scratching awkwardly at my neck.
お待たせいたしました。電池ありましたよ。
Ube, are you just gonna look for the Schmeck scene? No, I'm gonna look for what happened. After that, Kongo came jogging toward us from the direction of the storehouse and offered several D-cell batteries to Matsuda. Do you guys know you guys know for batteries there are 1A? Isn't there like there's a AA battery? There is a AAA battery. But do you guys know that there is a 4A battery? I'm not even joking. There is an battery. That's how long the A was. Look, this is real. See? A. It's crazy. They're long. No, they're not small. They're just longer. It's crazy, right? So they're still being used because they're still being sold. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, they're still being sold right now, but we don't really know what is it used for. Yeah, big AAA batteries are less common than AA or AA cells because they're often known as by defect manufacturing. Blah, 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 blah. Oh! One example of that battery is an old Microsoft Surface Pen. Okay, it can be used with a variety of electronic devices such as Microsoft Surface Pro Stylus, stylus, pen lights, flashlights, mini flashlights, laser pointers, calculators. Okay, glucose, what? Headsets? Bluetooth headsets? What? Oh, okay. Interesting. Maybe a laser pointer? A laser pointer, really? I want like a good laser pointer, right? I want a good one. I want an expensive one. I don't want those cheap ones.
ありがとうございます。助かりました。
I watched him insert them into his flashlight. He must have used his up already. And he asked Hongo to fetch some in advance. Always prepared, this one.
いいえ、また何かあったら声をかけてください。東さん。
A resident gentleman smiled brightly at me, seemingly in good spirits.
おはよう。早起きさせてすみません。
とんでもない。改めて発電機を調べることで、また新たに何かわかるかもしれませんからね。
だといいんだけどな。で、これからのことだけど、本郷さんには発電機まで案内してもらったら、その後、俺と東は島の反対側に行く。向こうに着くのに何時間かかるかわかんねえから、その間、宝とキロさんはこっちに残って食料探しをしてもらうことにした。今日の配給ももうキロさんに頼んで渡してやるから問題ない。宝と二人で配ってくれって。
Okay.
マジ？もう貯蔵庫まで行ってきたの？
おう。 できるだけ朝早くに出発したかったからな。
It was the middle of the night when I left Mitsuda's cabin. It took a while to get to the village and back. And he'd also had time to talk to Kiro? Had the dude even slept?
で、俺らの分の配給はこれな。持ってって向こうで食うぞ。
I guess you gave him energy on something. He handed me a small plastic bag tied at the top.
わかった。
They should have made a safer work version of this not safer work scene, I think. Oh, you should have watched Dramatical Murder. That is how they should do it in this game as well. They should have just, really cropped it out. I still had bought our rations in a bag I'd bought for foraging. Matsuda asked me if I had my beauty sleep, but he had to be running on way less fumes than me.
よし、じゃあ行くか。本郷さん、案内頼むよ。
Jeez, could he quit standing there like he owned the place with his sparkly wide awake eyes and let out like a single yawn? Okay, what happened? Remember that, he wants attention. Azuma wants attention on this guy, and now that this guy is happy, it's the opposite now. What really is going with this two?
はい、お任せください。
I would have shown more appreciation if he gave some indication of how hard he'd work. Weird. Even making allowances for Hongo showing us the most efficient way, it didn't take long for us to reach the generator. I had no idea where in the forest we were, but we soon came upon 3 prefab huts joined together where the electrical lines above us
こ
converge.
れが発電機？つうか、小屋レベルのデカさじゃねえか。
Azuma got more than attention. Hello there, happy smile, welcome. Setting my luggage down in the grass, I looked up at the row of huts.
あれだけの電気を賄うのにはこれくらいの規模でないと。鍵は。
Matsuda and I stood behind Hongo as he opened the door. Peering inside, I was awed by how cyberpunk it looked. It was like the whole place was filled with machines. Generators are machines, duh.
おお、なんか近未来的な。
松田さん、中に入ってご覧になりますか？
Matsuda nodded. Switching on his torch, he stepped inside, his footsteps echoing off the walls.
松田ってこういうの詳しいのか？
全くもって全然。
全然かい。
Sure enough, he spent barely any time inside the generator hut, examining each generator in turn, before coming out with a clueless look on his face. He solemnly closed the door behind him and turned to face us.
どうだった？
全部全く動いてね。
Really?
それを確かめに来たのか？
Another jump is incoming, I know it. What do you mean jump?
ちげえよ。3機とも完全に停止してるなんておかしいよなって。
Okay.
一度に全てが故障するなんてなかなかありえないことだと思います。
Oh, this is where they break the generators.
確かにそうなる可能性は低そうだけど。
If I look crazy happy smile in our YouTube chat, we're also streaming on Twitch. So yeah, do you know this game, Paradise?
でもゼロじゃねえだろ。
はい。ですが確率は低いと思いますよ。信頼できるメーカー製ですし。
もしかして誰かが恋に故障させたりとかな。あ、もちろん冗談よ。
Okay, things just got awkward. Despite my assertion that it was a joke, Matsuda's expression darkened slightly. Hongo, who had one hand pressed to his lips, spoke tentatively.
皆様を不安にさせたくなかったために黙っておりましたが、施錠していたはずのドアの鍵が開いておりまして。
Oh no, so maybe it was Kokichi because Kokichi knows how to unlock things.
ここの鍵？
はい。発電機は危険なものですので、誰かが誤って立ち入らないようにしっかりと鍵をかけているんです。
Weird.
それが開いておりました。
鍵の管理は本郷さんが？
いえ、島にはおりませんが、業者の方が持っています。
Oh.
メンテナンスは物資の補充と一緒に行う予定でした。
Ow! It was a secret 17 student, Takara. Watch out for him.
私も立ち入りは禁止されておりますので。
もともと空いてたってことはないんすか？
その可能性はあります。発電機は私の管理外ですので、停止するまでは外周を見回るだけでしたから。
誰かが発電機を止めたかも説。急浮上って感じだな。
But that likelihood was still small. I mean, it wouldn't make sense. Matsuda seemed to be thinking along the same lines as he muttered grimly.
誰かが止めたんだとして、誰が何のために？
Yeah, exactly. Why would someone have to gain from shutting down the power? If whoever shut it down was here on the island, they'd be screwed too. Or did they want to make us suffer?
いや、でも
That is correct. There was nothing connecting us. Our reasons for being on the island were different. We were different. We were from different backgrounds and walks of life. We didn't know one another. We weren't distant relatives or anything. Then, were they targeting one particular person? We all pondered together. But although we came up with a few theories, the mystery only deepened. After a while, Matsuda let out a deep sigh and rubbed his forehead.
この件はとりあえず保留だな。今考えてもどうしようもねえや。
そうね。そろそろ行かないと。
I relaxed. My thoughts had stalled at a dead end. I was grateful to get moving again.
気にはなるけど、とりあえず発電機を確認するっつう一つ目の目的は果たせたわけだし。
Okay. Hongo looked up decisively and pulled something out of his pocket, which he held out to me.
ええ、今はもっと大事なことがありますしね。あ、それと
What is it?
一応持ってきたものなのですが、役に立つと思うので使ってください。
Really?
お、方位磁石だ。ありがとう。
Okay, yippee! It probably would have been smarter for him to give it to Matsuda. I bet he knew how to use it better than I do. I'd give it to him later.
今日中には戻ってこれそうにないですか？
そうだな。島は広い。まっすぐ森を突っ切って縦断しても結構な時間がかかるだろうな。戻るのは明日になると思うけど、もし2、3日経っても帰ってこなかったら探しに来てくれ。
何言ってるんですか？
Hongo paled.
大
Really?
丈夫。テントも持ってきてるし、水もあるし、食料もあるし、足りなきゃなんか取るし。
We're gonna be going camping for 2 days with only Matsuda?
そうそう、万が一の話な。途中で何が起こるかわかんねえしさ。
Taking the hint, Matsuda brightly backed me up.
万が一そんなことになったら必ず探しに行きます。
For Takara. Our encouraging attitude seemed to have worked. Although he still looked uneasy, Hongo saw us off with a deep bow. With a wave back at him, we set off. Okay. Oh no. How long had I been following Matsuda through the forest? We'd split the luggage equally between us, and it wasn't that heavy, so it wasn't slowing me down. But I had no clue how much progress we'd made. All the trees look exactly the same, marching on endlessly into the distance.
足元ぬかるんでるわ。気ぃつけろ。
もう
I love this music. Matsuda's warning snapped me out of my thoughts. I managed to jump over the puddle I'd been about to step in.
荷物重くねえか？
全然。お、キノコ見っけ。
We were collecting anything edible we came across, but we still didn't have much. Plenty more forest ahead of us though. But it was something else taking up my thoughts. Matsuda was being weirdly nice. Weirdly nice!
疲れたら言えよ。休む時間くらいあるからな。
Why is it a bad thing though? You want him to be weirdly nice, huh? You want him to be nice to Azuma.
うん。
Azuma, are you okay? Matsuda was the kind of guy who looked out for other people, but
あと、何かあったら、些細なことでもいいからすぐに言え。
interesting.
うん。
Was he like this before? Was I imagining it? Overthinking it?
おい、あれって何かの実じゃねえか？
実？果物？
I followed Matsuda, branches cracking under our feet. Whoa! Together we looked up at the tree. It was laden with small red fruit that looked like apples.
あれ、リンゴじゃね？超久しぶりの果物じゃね？
リンゴに見えるけど、なんだろうな。まあ、ああいうのは大概食えるもんだ。よし、木には悪いが、根こそぎ取ってくぞ。
やったー！大量大量！いや待て、届かねえ。
Azuma, are you okay? Though I stretched until my arm ached, the round fruits remained just out of reach. I could just about brush my fingertips over the shiny flesh, which only pissed me off even more. I managed to grab a few by jumping, but those were still tons of fruit up there taunting me. Are you okay? Looking up at them made me salivate. They looked so red and juicy.
肩車してやっか？
What? Arms folded, Matsuda grinned at me. So he was making fun of me, was he? So something did happen earlier. What was it? Was it like... What is it?
いいえ、結構です。登って取るから袋でキャッチして。
I'm scared. What do you really think happened, guys?
お前、木登りなんてできんの？足
Yeah,
滑らして
okay.
頭から落ちそうなんだけど。
Okay, they made out, but like, why did the making out scene made them like this?
うん。
Yeah, he was definitely making fun of me.
はっ。俺の素早い木登り術を見て腰を抜かせばいい。
Oh my god. I dumped my luggage on the ground, found a good foothold in the trunk, then began to scramble up. Oh! What happened? My foot slipped. At the last second, I managed to grab onto a knob protruding from the trunk. Are you okay, Azuma?
大丈夫かよ。
大丈夫。腕が、いや、足がなまってっから感覚取り戻すのにちょっと時間はかかりそうだけど。
He saw his life before his eyes. I climbed up more slowly this time, carefully feeling out the best hand and footholds.
ほら、そんなに高い木じゃねえから仮に落ち。
The branch I just grabbed hold of snapped. Oh no! I somehow managed to grab onto another branch and stop myself from falling. Are you okay, Azuma?
とりあえずこっから手が届くのがもいで落とすわ。
お前もういいから降りてこい。死ぬって。
頭から落ちなきゃいいんだろ。ざけんなよ。
The genuine cat reflexes are crazy. I sense a skip scene coming up. Wait, why? I almost came down with it with the apple-like fruit several times, but in the end, I got a good haul. Okay.
結構取れたな。うんうん。
Back on the ground, I looked down triumphantly at the bag filled with fruit. Looking to Matsuda beside me, I noticed a gauntness from about his features. Matsuda, are you okay?
お前、ちょっと痩せたんじゃね？
てめえのせいだよ。何回落ちかければ気済むんだよ。寿命縮んだ。
He shot me a glare, then dropped his head defeatedly. Then he shuffled over to me and wrapped his arms around my shoulders.
あんま無茶すんな。
My stomach flip-flopped at the feel of the soft underside of his arms against my neck. His soft, husky voice reminded me of yesterday, and I understood. So something, I mean, it was yesterday, not last night. Huh?
ごめん。
Oh, sure. Matsuda had been acting strange, but so was I. My apologies seemed to pacify him. He gave his head a slight shake, then pulled back from me. He readjusted his pack, now heavier under the weight of fruit.
じゃ、もう少し頑張るぞ。
With that, he disappeared into the woods without a backward glance. I hurried to follow before I could lose sight of him. Mushy rotten leaves clung to the soles of my shoes. I wish I hadn't realized. So wait, Matsuda the top or the bottom? What do you, what? Now that I hear you talk a little more, I have a question. What is it, Terrablight? What is it? Are you a gal or a lad? What do you mean? Me? I'm a guy! Oh, I'm a guy! What? Don't tell me you thought I was a girl. How am I a girl? Oh, also, Ui, I think the main character, Azuma, is always the bottom. I think. Except Takara, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I thought you were a lady. What? What? Why would you think I'm a lady? That makes this better. What? What do you mean it makes it much better? I wish I hadn't realized. That the kindness he was showing me now was different to before. But that I couldn't acknowledge it in the same way either. Do you have a feminine range voice? Huh? Takara is also a bottom, I hope. Okay, that is mean. That is the meanest thing, and the meanest thing was that Tara really thought that I'm a girl, not people saying me like gay. But that is just that is so femboy, my king. Oh my god, I am not a femboy. Just to say that. It was like that feeling you get when looking up at the morning sun steadily climbing the sky. When the day is beginning whether you like it or not, and the curtains are flung open before you're ready to face the light. The kind of feeling that makes you regret everything. Soft and high-pitched voice? I don't even have a high-pitched voice. It was an honest mistake. No, it's fine. I'm gonna make my voice deeper now. After trudging up and down a bit more. After trudging up and down more slopes than I could count, the trees eventually began to thin out. The scent of salt on the wind. Get close. Okay. The scent of salt on the wind grow closer as I can't do it now. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to do that. The scent of salt in the wind grew stronger as the red glow falling through the treetops deepened. I started to catch glimpses of blue between the weathered trees, and the muddy ground gave way to pebbles. Then the tree line abruptly ended.
着いたな。
Matsuda squinted down at the compass, a jacket fluttering in the sea breeze. Unlike the sandy beach on our side of the island, the shore here was rocky. The land dropped away into craggy rocks hewn by the waves, and the setting sun gilded the cliffs further along the shore. My heart leaped at the thought of adventure, but now wasn't the time for that. I dropped my pack to the damp ground, then sprawled down beside it.
疲れた。
We were both tired and covered in mud, but that didn't stop us from sharing a chuckle.
お疲れさん。とりあえず今日はここまでにしておこう。
まだ夕方なのに探検は
He weaponized it. Yeah. It seems that most of them really like this kind of voice. So I know their weakness now.
いや、これからすぐに暗くなる。どんな危険があるかわかんねえからな。無理しねえ方が安全だ。
はい。
I answered weakly, and Matsuda smiled. He grabbed my hand and pulled me to my feet. Then I helped him set up the small fishing tent before digging to our rations. I hardly need to say that they were freaking delicious. Oh,
酒飲
okay.
みてえ。
I thought we're inside someone right now. Okay, we're in the tent. I hope things won't get gay. Yoshi knows my weakness though. It was a bad idea to tell him. What's your weakness? What is Yoshi's weakness? I want to know more about that. I think I know. Man, I'd kill for a beer right now. Oh yeah, that's what he said, sorry. A small lamp illuminated the tent as we lazed around after a meal. Sitting cross-legged with his cheek resting in one hand, Matsuda grumbled to himself.
ねえだろ。
I was settled in one corner of the tent, not wanting to move another step if I didn't have
ね
to.
えな。
部屋にはあんの？
あれよ。
Oh no, they're gonna get drunk! In the tent! Together! Oh my god! Our conversation was low energy, our voices lethargic. Whoa. The incessant shushing of the waves had lost its soothing effect. My hair was tousled from the salty air.
向こうに戻ったら、お前と居酒屋行きてえな。
Why me? What?
行こうよ。
I wanted to correct him to if, but I refrained. An insect buzzed in the suddenly awkward silence.
はあ。
ため息多いな今日。
今さら考えてもどうしようもねえんだけど、仕事のことが気になって仕方ねえよ。
Work? Sorry, I didn't get to read that. Oops. A deep crevice furrowed his brow. As an insignificant part-timer, I couldn't really relate.
仕事ってサラリーマンって言ってたっけ？
You worked in an office? I thought you were a fisherman.
ああ、営業な。一応管理職やってて。
A manager?
そりゃ大騒ぎになってそうな。
だよな。もう。
This sigh was so deep and heavy, it felt like his soul might slip out with it. While I sympathized, I had no idea what I should say. Should I tell him to cheer up? Say we'd be back home soon? These platitudes were for people who still held hope. Oh, Azuma? What? What's wrong, Azuma? Are we gonna cheer him up? But there was something else I could say.
俺さ。
Oh no, Azuma?
うん。
Huh? What is this?
船なんか来なくてもいいって思ってた。
His dark gaze remained steadily fixed on me from beneath, where his forehead rested on his hand.
なんでなのか聞いていいのか。
ダメ。
He blinked slowly, shadowed eyes glowing orange in the lamplight.
そう来ると思った。けど、お前って、なんかほっとけねえんだよな。
Okay, what? What's up with Matsuda? He smiled. I wonder what's gonna happen, guys. Did that scene really change both of them? Matsuda and I awoke with the sunrise. Okay. When I told him how he'd fallen asleep the previous night, he apologized with a loud guffaw. Guffaw? What is that? His laughter was hearty and genuine, and I didn't sense any ill will from him. Okay. In the end, I figured I should just drop it, and I only voiced about half the complaints I'd bottled up for him. After packing up, we set to continue with our exploration of this side of the island. All was good.
とっとと行くぞ。
All around us, it was sea and rocky shore as far as the eye could see. And it didn't seem like it'd take long to look around this area. I set off again, and Matsuda followed obediently. When I glanced back, I saw that he was frowning. He obviously wasn't happy with me, but I figured I'd lead him to sulk. We stopped a few meters back from where the edge of the cliff dropped off into the air and surveyed the area.
行き止まりだな。
だな。わ、絶壁。
Around us were rocks and more cliffs, the forest and the sea, nothing of interest.
まあでも、こっちは釣りがはかどりそうな立地だな。
Really?
こういう岩場には魚が多いんだ。下の方も見てみたい。
It's like a grunt mixed with a laugh, I guess. Oh, okay. Do you guys know why fishes love rocky areas?
下？降りられる場所あるかな？
It's because the fishes are there and they say, "This place rocks!" Sorry. I looked around again. I knew that was gonna happen. There weren't any steps in sight. This area seemed completely untouched by human hands. I edged toward the drop off.
お、落ちんなよ。
そんなギリギリまで近づかねえって。
Whoa, zoomed in. When I reached a point where blue sky was the only thing before me, I got down on my hands and knees. Then I leaned forward to peer over the edge.
俺が行く。お前戻ってこい。
Matsuda's voice cracked as he saw what I was doing. Obviously, I ignored him and leaned further out. So funny, in fact, that I regret my sub. What? No!
はあ、マジで絶壁だ。
What is a precipice? What is a precipice? What? Though we weren't that high up, it was still a view that made my balls retract. If someone fell from here, they'd be dead meat. Matsuda, are you really that much of a scaredy cat? I heard Matsuda panicking behind me, getting even more worked up than when I climbed the tree. But he stayed where he was, perhaps afraid that both our weight would cause the cliff to crumble. That was ridiculous though. The dude was such a warrior.
はあ、下も岩ばっかだ。 こりゃ釣りやったら絶対たくさん釣れるぜ。
わかった。もういいから戻ってこい。
降りられる場所。あ、右側の方がこっちに続いてるみてえな。
Okay.
あとは、あれ？下に穴があるみてえだけど。
穴？まあいい。とにかく戻ってこい。
わかってるって。何なのかな。
わかった。わかったから戻ってこい。
そこそこでけえよ。普通に入れるかも。
わかった。もういいから。
行ってみようぜ。他にも穴あるかもよ。
Oh my god, my cat just pooped. Ah! Sorry, I'll be back. I'm gonna be back. Let me just go and clean up my cat. Clean my cat's poop. I wonder why Matsuda is like that. So much moaning, right? That was a lot. Sorry. Let me just go put this outside. Okay, I'm back now. Ugh. Anyways, what happened while I was gone? Oh wait, I was controlling the game. It's decreed. Oh, scared me. Oh my god, that even scared me even more. Sorry. Okay, sorry about the wait, everyone.
わかった。もういいから早くこっち来い頼むから。
Okay, Matsuda, calm down! Jeez! The dude was so annoying! He really needed to get a grip. If I stayed here much longer, he was gonna distract me, and I might really fall. Figuring I'd seen all there was to see, I did as he asked and stood up, brushing off my knees. Okay, when I made it back about 2 meters from the edge, Matsuda leaped at me, grabbed my wrist, and pulled me further inland.
おっとっと。
Once I was back on fully solid ground, he finally stopped. Matsuda looked even more ashen-faced than me, and I was the one who'd just had the ball retracting experience.
俺が行くっつったのになんでお前はすぐそう。やめろっつってんだろう。
崖なんかそうそう崩れねえって。
こんな長いこと放置されてたクソみたいな島の崖なんかちょっと重さかかっただけで崩れるかもしんねえだろ。
Okay, Matsuda, I get it! Far as I could see, the island wasn't the dumbass here.
いいかお前、次わけわかんねえことしたらこう、お前の腰と俺の腰に紐くくりつけてビヨーンってなるようにつなぐからな。わかったか？マジでやるからな。
Matsuda, calm down! Bungie, the hell was he on?
わかったわかった。何向きになってんだよ。落ち着けって。
Yeah. Matsuda let out a fierce sigh.
覚えとけよ。
He released my wrist with a violent shake. Sorry if I woke up someone there. Ooh, this is new. Eventually, we made it down the cliff to the rocky shore below. The black cave entrance yawned open before us, big enough for a person to fit through. Looking up, I saw bits of gravel clattering down the sheer face of the precipice we'd been standing atop. I squinted into the darkness of the cave, but all I could see was the inky surface of the sea lapping into the hole.
結構深そうだけど。こっからじゃ何も見えねえな。
That's why we have the flashlight, right?
とりあえず入ってみる？
そうだな。俺が先に行くからな。
He was totally stealing my thunder. I'd wanted to be the first explorer to step foot in here. Brushing past me, Matsuda side-eyed me, then deliberately shone his flashlight right in my face.
足滑らせねえように気をつけろよ。
はい。
Blinking the spots out of my eyes, I gave a half-hearted response and followed after him. The rocks formed rough stepping stones, and I was about to jump from one to another when Matsuda turned and held his hand out to me.
捕まれよ。
Okay, now that is just weird. Why? I'm not a kid! The rocks aren't that far apart. I could make it from one to the other, no problem. Come on, do we really have to? I think we should just turn him down, right, everyone? Fine, let's grab it onto him. He'd said before that he felt the urge to protect me from the danger I was always putting myself in. While I didn't like how patronizing that felt, I did genuinely appreciate his concern for me. No one had ever looked out for me like this before.
ありがとう。
So I decided to be grateful for his concern and accept it. Besides, I was just taking his hand. It wasn't like it meant anything.
いいえ。
Matsuda smiled and gripped my outstretched hand in his. Oh my god, this is scary. Inside the cave, the walls were bare black rock. A small stream of salt water flowed through along the ground, but there was enough space on each side for a person to walk along it without getting wet.
とりあえず行けるとこまで行ってみるぞ。
出られなくなったりしねえかな。
Yeah, being trapped in a cave is scary, everyone. I don't like it. I don't like being trapped in a cave.
だいたい1日歩きゃ島の反対側に出るんだし。最悪ここで日をまたいでも昨日取ったもんあるし、絶食はしねえで済む。
As he progressed deeper, the tunnel widened, and at some point, the trickle of water faded away. By now, we'd been walking through the tunnel for several hours. Oh my god.
あれなんか。
I was just starting to worry about whether there would actually be an exit when I realized the scene around me was changing. Wooden planks now covered the rough rock face. Some were cracked or missing, others blackened and soft with rot from the moist air.
ああ、人の手が入ってるな。
Oh no, what if someone was camping here? Matsuda nodded, running his flashlight beam over the walls. The path beneath our feet was still as uneven as ever, but at least the reinforced walls would probably slightly decrease the risk of a cave-in.
人の手が入ってるってことは、奥
Oh
に
no.
何かあるってことだよな。
Matsuda muttered an agreement. I forced myself onward, my body dripping with sweat. Then another half hour or so.
見てみろ。
What is it? Huh?
ああ、
Adjusting the pack slumping from my shoulders, I raised my heavy head. Oh my god. In front of us was a rusty ladder. It looked to be around 2 or 3 meters tall, extending up to the ceiling.
外？
多分な。なあ、待て！お前はそこにいろよ。
Matsuda grabbed me as soon as I made the slightest movement.
お前は俺のお母さんか。
I grumbled, but stayed behind Matsuda as he approached the ladder.
さて、登れそうだといいんだけどな。
He ran the beam of his flashlight up and down the ladder. It looked sturdy, but it was so rusted that it was impossible to discern the original color. Still, it didn't seem to have corroded though, and I didn't see any missing rungs. Squinting upward, I saw that it ended at a square trapdoor. The trapdoor looked to be made out of wood, but the darkness and the moss growing over it made it hard to tell. Matsuda set down his pack and climbed the ladder. He braced both hands against the trapdoor and pushed, but
どう？
ダメだ、開かねえ。
oh no, then someone's there! Someone's up there right now! Trying to not let us in!
俺も手伝おうか？
Probably, right? Matsuda kicked at the rungs to test their durability, then looked down at me.
荷物はとりあえず置いとけ。くれぐれもゆっくり登ってこいよ。
Can't believe they're about to do it in an abandoned mine shaft. What? They're not
わかっ
doing
た。
it. The ladder wasn't that tall, so I quickly reached Matsuda's feet. With me reaching up from the rung below him, we were both able to push on the door at the same time.
はい。せーの。
おら。
Azuma, are you okay? After a few seconds of throwing our full weight at it, the wood creaked ominously. Uh-oh. We both immediately stopped pushing, but it's too late! Oh no! Are you guys okay? Our force had broken the rotten trapdoor apart. The dirt and grass that had been piled on top of it rained down, knocking both us and the ladder to the ground. Not only had I been thrown hard onto the stony floor, but I was also covered in dirt and mulch. Great. Just great.
大丈夫。変なとこ打ってね。
Rubbing my sore spots, I got onto my hands and knees and to peer down at Matsuda. He was instinctively covered his head with his arms, and now he got himself up quickly. Then he started to brush the dirt off me before even looking at his own mud-covered clothes.
俺は大丈夫。それよりお前は痛いとことかねえか。
Why was he always putting me ahead of himself? It was kinda annoying, but equally annoying was the fact that I was getting so used to it.
別に。
That's not annoying. I would like that if someone was worried about me. After letting him brush me down for a moment, I stopped him and returned the favor. Scarlet sunlight poured in through the square hole in the ceiling as though to celebrate the end of our long journey. So what's up there?
久しぶりの外。
もうこんな時間か。長旅お疲れ。
The crisp, dry air was glorious. Damn, the outside was a beautiful place. I drank in deep, refreshing lungfuls of oxygen. I never realized how sweet the fresh air could taste.
つうか、このはしごって結局何よ。
I climbed the ladder first after propping it up again. Now I offered a hand to Matsuda and pulled him up after me.
よっと。そうだな。島の反対側に行くための近道とか
Murako disappears. Oh, it's a shortcut.
いやー、自然にできた洞窟じゃねえの？で、ここどこ？
Oh, of course. We're back at the abandoned ruin. The abandoned buildings. Matsuda swung his flashlight around. My question was immediately
あ
answered.
の村だよな。
In the distance, I could see the big mansion where we'd encountered the giant centipede. Where we stood was practically in the forest with no houses directly around, so it's probably the outer edge of the village.
変なところに出なくてよかったな。これならすぐ帰れるじゃん。やっぱ近道として使ってたのかな。
What is it, Matsuda? I looked at Matsuda for confirmation, but his brow was furrowed with thought.
何？どうかした？
いや、考えすぎか。近道として使うのに、あんな崖の洞窟とつなげるかって思ったんだわ。
Yeah, that is weird.
ん？
I just figured they joined it up in an existing cave system, and it didn't matter too much exactly where it came out so long as it got them to the other side of the island. Was I wrong? Maybe it's part of the killing?
それよりやべ、こんな時間になっちまった。今日の配給急がねえと。
あ、そうだよな。今日の分は木戸さんに頼んでねえんだっけ？
Okay. There wasn't time to stand around basking in our freedom. We hurried off toward the underground storage bunker. The interesting thing in this one is that our cabin didn't burn off. And no one died, actually. Yeah, no one died. Which is a bit weird because remember that when Mitsugi got that book, remember that book where he was trying to decipher it? I think that's when things really start to get bad. Wait a minute. No. They did die. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So it still happened. Never mind that. It was the first time here since the day we implemented the rations policy.
へえ、こんな風に保存されてたのか。
Everything in the underground bunker was neatly arranged, displaying Matsuda's fastidiousness. I hung back watching Matsuda as he bustled around making preparations. Shit, I felt bad not doing anything. He said we had to hurry, and he was always doing stuff for me. Now was my time to help him.
何を持ってったらいいとかあったら教えて。
そうだな。じゃあ、そこに入ってる缶詰3個取って。
Hello there, Stardust. It's okay. If you're busy, it's fine. We always welcome you if you're back. We're playing Paradise right now.
3個ね。
I poked my head into the box Matsuda pointed to, but
ねえよ、缶詰。
I didn't see any. Not 3. Not even 1.
あるよ。ちゃんと探してみろって。
But did I miss out? Have you been in our Paradise streams? We're now going with Matsuda's route.
いや、マジでないと思うけど。
どこに何が入ってるか全部記憶してるし、記録もしてる。間違いねえよ。
なんだと？
He was really taking his rations management thing seriously, and if you've said they were definitely there, maybe they were. I riffled through the box again, making sure to get into every nook and cranny, but all I found was bags of flour and dried goods.
やっぱりねえって。本当にこの箱？
はいはい。なんだって。
Matsuda stopped what he was doing and came over to me.
見てみろってねえから。
Maybe they used the cans to feed already?
ねえわけがねえんだって。
Matsuda jabbed a finger at the box that looked in for himself and froze.
あれ？缶詰が残ってたはずなんだけど。
な、ねえだろ。
記憶違いってことはねえはずだが、管理表があるし、照らし合わせてみれば一目瞭然だ。
つまり
So I'm looking at my lights right now. It's like flickering now. Is there a ghost event happening? What is happening? I think I have to replace my lights in my room. What was he implying?
誰かが
Is it Takara? I guess he can not remember what happened. Okay. I quickly scrubbed that thought away.
いや木戸さんと宝が気を使って今日の分配給してくれたのかもしんねえし
それにしては減ってる量が少ない気もすんだけどな。
一回今日の分の配給持って向こうに戻ってみようぜ。もし木戸さんと宝がもう配っちまってたんならその時は戻せばいいだけだし、ただいまも言わなきゃなんねえしね。
そうだな。
Very weird. Matsuda's expression was still grim and preoccupied as we left the bunker behind. And despite my outward optimism, I had a bad feeling about all this. A really bad feeling. And my bad feelings were often proved right. I really didn't want this one to be. But all I could do was hope. What is it, Danganronpa? Hope? Huh? Rug? Why are you here? Everyone was overjoyed by our return, and the food we brought back with us. Hongo was on the verge of tears as he told us he didn't know what he would have done if we hadn't come back today. It felt like a hero's welcome, but the unease swirling within my chest wouldn't let me enjoy it. Then, we spoke to Kido and Takara.
今日の配給まだしてないけど、二人が持ってきてくれたんじゃないの？
There it was. My bad feeling hadn't been unfounded. Oh no. Matsuda had me join him in his cabin where we wouldn't be overheard. As soon as the door was closed, he rounded on me.
ちょっと待てよ。つまりどういうことになってんの？
Yeah, someone stole it. It could be Takara. Remember, Takara is always hungry.
昨日の朝、俺が配給を取りに行った時は数は変わってなかった。缶詰はあった。それが次の日の夕方には、
Very weird.
誰かが勝手に貯蔵庫に入ったってことだよな。
He nodded heavily. There was a reason I was the only one he was telling this to. I'd been with him from yesterday morning until tonight. I was the only one who had an alibi.
疑いたくはねえけど、犯人がいるなら何とかしなきゃいけない。
If we did, it's justified. How is it justified? No. Being cute doesn't justify things. So if I acted cute, would you guys give me a switch too? Please, guys? I'll stop.
命に関わるもんなんだからな、食料は。ちょっと間が差し。
Oops, sorry. What was that again? Let me just read it. Our lives are at stake here. There ain't no excuse for taking our food. Okay, he was right. That was why we'd put Matsuda in charge of it. We trusted him with the task. We'd put our lives in his hands, and now this happened. Matsuda had a strong sense of responsibility. He had to be blaming himself for it.
わかるよ。もう二度とこんなことをさせないようにしなきゃいけねえよな。
Matsuda nodded wordlessly.
何か事情があったのかもしれねえ。死にそうなくらい腹が減ってたのかもしれねえ。
Probably Takara.
でも、俺はそいつを許せねえ。
Yeah.
欲しいなら欲しいと言うべきだ。こそこそかすめ取るなんておかしいじゃねえか。
A switch is hell expensive. I know, that's why I'm asking you guys. He showed no inclination toward running from the heavy weight of his role.
明日から俺が貯蔵庫を見張る。
Okay. He declared with racing determination.
食料探しがおろそかになると思うけど、その分のフォローはお前に頼みたい。
Sorry, my cat has been in my thingies. if you were Takara, still no. What? What if I was clear? No? What if I'm Ube? What if I'm asking only half the amount of the Switch 2? Please! I'm joking.
それと犯人探しのことは内密にしておきたい。みんなにはうまいことごまかしといてくれ。
So we're gonna learn about this thief then. I wonder who could this be? Maybe it has the letter A. Sorry, I burped. Maybe they have a letter A in their name?
ありがと
Matsuda followed up his thanks with a deep sigh. Relatable.
う。まあな。所蔵庫に鍵つければ防止はできる。そうやって中に入れなくしちまえば、そもそも同じことはもう起こらない。そういう誰が犯人でもいい、不問にするって考え方もあるけど。
It's the big guy with the crook hat? Okay, that does make sense.
俺はみんなで一丸となって頑張るべき時に調和を乱すようなやつを野放しにしておきたくない。お前はどうだ？
Just like Matsuda was determined to live up to the responsibility placed on him, my mind was made up.
犯人ははっきりさせときたい。
You wanna find it? You wanna find the thief? Could it be the crooked guy? Could it be Mitsugi? Could it be Takara? Could it be the camera guy? Could it be Hongo? Could it be... It could be anyone. I knew just how hard Matsuda had been working for us. He had carefully recorded what food we had and how much. He'd organized everything and even remembered where each item was. He got up each day at the crack of dawn to come to the bunker and calculate the ration portion so that everyone got their equal share. It was up to him to work out how many more days he could survive on what we had left. He was doing all this task that probably no one else would be capable of without a single complaint.
なんか松田がさ頑張って管理してんのに、しかも俺たちに押し付けられた仕事でさやりたくてやってるわけじゃねえのに、それをめちゃくちゃにするやつがいるのかなと思ったらさ、すっげえ腹立つ。
Oh no.
だから犯人には文句の一つも言ってやんねえと気が済まないわ。
そうか。
Oh, oops, sorry.
ありがとな。
Masuda's expression softened, but it was an awkward mix of gratitude and tension. Maybe he didn't agree with the idea that we were forcing him to do this job.
当然だろ。
Matsuda was the I'm so fucking stoic guy. Stoic? What is that? What is that word? Who didn't even let himself yawn despite barely sleeping. I wanted to ease his burden as quickly as possible. Oh no, is this gonna be a skip?
まあ
He was meddling and overprotective.
協力はいくらでもするよ。
Oh no. He was annoying and smothering and a pain in the ass.
松田の分も頑張って食料を取るようにする。
What is happening? But he was also the guy I trusted above anyone else.
お前と一緒に行動してるような素振りもする。
Oh. Thank you, Spinda. It means expressionless.
思いつくのってこんくらいだけどいい？
十分すぎるくらいだ。
His lashes lowered over his dark eyes.
それでよろしく頼むよ。
His low voice seemed to sink right into my core. Since the thief could pop up again during the night, Matsuda headed off to guard the food supplies immediately, and I put my own plan into action. Your own
Tadaima!
plan? Honey, I'm home. What? When I got back to my board lodgings, the car raised his face from his book. He was lying in the bed, waiting by the light of the moon. Logically, I knew that so long as we didn't know who the culprit was, everyone was a suspect. But the thought still pained me.
早かったね。用事はもういいの？
After receiving our rations, I'd given Takara a vague excuse for going over to Matsuda's cabin, and I kept up the same facade now.
うん。借りてたもん返しに行ってただけだから
Yeah, this is before the Mitsugi, sleeping with Mitsugi. Despite doing my best to act normally, the guilt eating away inside of me made me stumble over my words.
そんでな、
Oh,
今日松田の部屋で寝るって話になってさ。
really? Okay, I should have not jinxed it. Now we're not gonna sleep with
ちょっ
Takara.
と釣りの話で盛り上がってて、朝釣りとか結構釣れるらしいよなとか。
Oh,
あ、そ
for
うなん
Takara.
だ。わかった。
それでもし連泊するようなことになったら明日また言うから。
なんで連泊？一日だけじゃない？
うん、朝釣りが調子よかったらしばらく一緒にやろうかなって。
Oh.
朝早くにお前のことを起こしたくねえし、それなら松田の部屋に泊まりがけの方がいいかなって。
He's being suspicious with Takara.
ああ、なるほど。了解。
Aw.
それにしても、いきなり松田と仲いいよね。
Yeah, maybe time to blackmail Matsuda. My heart leaped into my throat at the pointed comment, but I fought it back down.
昨日、二人きりで探検行った時に何かあったの？
いや、
Oh
普通に
no.
気があっただけだけど。ほら、松田っていいやつだし面白いし。
I fought to keep my gaze steady. I don't like that smug that Takara's doing. That smile is still like giving me the creeps. I thought I managed to respond pretty normally, but would Takara have bought it? Oh really? He did this too?
そうだね。東が誰かと仲良くなるのは俺も嬉しいよ。東は基本的に懐っこいように見せかけて壁があるタイプだなって思うし。
そうか？
My laughter came out strained, but at least it seemed like I've navigated the situation for now. I drew together some toiletries and stuff and said goodbye to Takara and left the cabin. Shit, I felt drained now. If I was gonna get all flustered over the most minor stuff, the future didn't bode well for me. Gripping the key Matsuda had entrusted to me, I forced my lethargic body to move. What now? My plan was to go to Matsuda's cabin and hang out there so that the culprit wouldn't realize that Matsuda wasn't around. I didn't really think we needed to go this far, but Matsuda seemed to want to take as many precautions as possible. I knew that if I allowed myself to feel guilty about lying to Takara, there'd be no end to it. Our plan would fall apart if my awkwardness and agitation raised the culprit's suspicions. If I was gonna do this, I had to commit.
切るしかねえわ。
Yeah! From now until we caught the culprit, I'd be lying to everyone except Matsuda. It was necessary. I couldn't allow anyone to ruin all the hard work Matsuda had put in for us. Okay. The next morning, the food finding group gathered in the square.
おはよう。どうだった？松田の部屋の寝心地は。
Why does Takara know that we're gay or something? I don't like that smug sprite.
おはよう。そうだな。綺麗で落ち着かなかった。
ああ、すっかり俺のお部屋に慣れちゃって。
Oh.
ところでその松田さんは？
朝早くに釣りに出たよ。俺も行くはずだったけど寝坊したからこれから合流するみたいな。そんでさ、今日も俺と松田組、宝と木戸さん組で作業しようってさ。
Takara knowing smirk runs with that Hiroshi image. Which one? Which? My power bank! I dropped it! No! Oops. Oh my god. You guys didn't hear that, right? Uh-oh. No, 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 no. It's not broken, everyone. It's not broken. My Kinich power bank. It's not right. Yeah, it's working. It's still working. Of course it would be still working. Sounds so painful. I'm sorry. I actually dropped it. No, no, no. There's no focus in that. Are you talking about... Are you talking about this one? This smirk? Oh my god.
あ
Uh,
あ、別にいいんだけど、その組み合わせはなんか意味あんの？
I don't like that image. Uh-oh, I have to ask Moots so as not to arouse suspicion.
いや、別にないんじゃない？あ、違うな。そうだそうだ。
Okay.
こないだ島の反対側に行く途中に取り逃がしたもんがあったからさ。
Really? Other fruit and stuff.
そろそろ釣りが終わる頃だし、二人で行ってサクッと取ってくるから、この組み分けなのよ。
Okay. Yeah, that was a great excuse. Heading out deep into the forest would be a good camouflage for me.
全員で行くほどでもねえし、俺と松田だけで十分だし。
わかった。じゃあ俺と宝はあんたらが行くとこ以外を探せばいいな。
Mm-hmm.
そんな感じでよろしく。
I started gathering my stuff together. After watching Takaro and Kido leave out the corner of my eye, I heaved a deep sigh. I was such a bad lawyer. I hoped I'd been convincing just now. They hadn't seemed to suspect anything, so hopefully it was all good. Still, I felt like people were making a big deal out of the fact that Matsuda and I went to the other side of the island together. Going by Takaro's comments yesterday and Kido's today, people seemed to be under the impression that we were really close. I mean, it was kinda true, I just worried whether it would affect my pretense. Now they believe Azuma and Matsuda are boning each other? Where's my... Boning each other? What? Oh, you mean bonding each other?
もうちょっと慎重にやんねえと、いらぬ誤解を生みそうな気もするな。
Mm-hmm. I had to come up with some better excuses for next time.
よし、何はなくとも二人分の食料を集めなきゃな。
Okay. Without that key part, our whole plan would be fucked from the get-go. Matsuda was going to meet up with me in the evening in time for ration distributions. Everyone else would be back before dark to put the things they'd forged that day into the container Matsuda brought with him. Until then, my task was to forge enough food to look like we'd both been out here all day.
よし、頑張ろう。
Okay. Do you think that seemed like a good plan? Several hours later, I was engaged in a protracted battle with nature. Takara and Kido were out searching in the other direction, so we were unlikely to bump into one another. But I kept on the alert, just in case of the unlikely event that we did happen to cross paths. And because my attention was on that, it wasn't on my immediate surroundings. Azuma, are you okay? I was attacked by huge flies and mosquitoes, tripped over a fallen tree, and stepped into a bog. Are you okay? I brushed against some kind of stinging plant that raised welts all over my arms and legs. I took a twig to the forehead. Are you okay? Oh my god! I overestimated my climbing abilities after my success with the apple-like fruits and fell out of a tree. And now I was black and blue all over. Oh my god! Okay, that was bad. That was really bad.
でも、二人分くらいにはなったかな。
Shaking mud off my gloves, I opened up the bag and peered inside. Black mushrooms, more of those apple-like fruits, some mysterious grasses, mysterious leaves, other mysterious stuff.
ああ、 こんくらいありゃいいだろう。
The more the merrier, right? Matsuda himself said to gather anything that looked like it might possibly be edible. Leaves? Looking up, I saw the glowing ball of the sun start to take on reddish
松
tones.
田、どうしてるかな。
Oh, now you're worried about Matsuda. He had set out to keep watch last night, and it was already evening. That meant he'd been setting guard for a full day.
どうせ寝てねえだろうな。
He'd said we couldn't know when the culprit might strike again, so he'd probably been on the alert the whole time. I wondered whether I should go check in on him.
さすがにぶっ倒れてるってことはねえと思いたい。
Looking around, I realized that in my frantic battle against nature, I'd ended up pretty far from where I started out. Thanks to that, I now wasn't too far from the bunker. If someone else happened to come across me, it wouldn't be suspicious.
様子見に行こ
I could give him his portion of the food I'd forged while I was at it. That served as a good excuse. Okay. Why do you find excuses to go look for him? Okay.
前
What? What? As I arrived at the village, I thought I heard a voice in the distance. I stopped in the path and looked around. There was no one to be seen. Zoinks! Scoob, it's a ghost! Okay, what? What's that reference? I was tempted to make some kind of cartoonish pose, but was actually kind of spooked. Still, it made more sense that someone was out here rather than just brushing it off as the wind. In which case, maybe it was Kido.
う。松田か。
Matsuda? That was the most obvious possibility. It did sound like the noise could have come over near the bunker. I should get over there. Readjusting my grip on my bag, I set off running. Oh no.
待てお前逃げんな
Huh? A sudden yell stopped me in my tracks again.
あ、
んだよ何もしてねえだろ話せよ
Okay, it's Kido and Matsuda. Backlit by the setting sun, two silhouettes were grappling in front of the darkened entrance to the bunker. Taking a few steps closer, I immediately recognized the figures. One was Matsuda, and the other one was Kido.
何もやってねえっつってんだろ言ってんだよ話せ
何もやってねえだったらそのポケットの中のも見せてみろ
Oh no, it was Kido and not Takara.
そこに手突っ込んでこっから出てきてよな
何もねえっつってんだろ
Kido flinched away, but Matsuda's strong arms held him in place.
やましいことがねえならなんで逃げようとする
うるせえっつな
You all thought it was the innocent Takara. Okay, well, it could have been still Takara. Kido kept swarming from within Matsuda's grip, trying to escape, but Matsuda was too strong. I knew from experience that resisting him was futile.
暴れんな逃げれば余計に話がこじれるぞ
Kido's expression twisted with pain as Matsuda tightened his grip.
じゃあ聞き方を変えるなんでここにあんたがいる
食料探しだよ決まってんだろ
Really near the bunker? I'd been planning to stay put until I had a hand on that situation, but I couldn't let this lie fly. I took a step forward, and Kido noticed my presence for the first time.
じゃあ、宝はどこにいんだよ。
Yeah, where's Takara? His eyes widened. Then sent a death glare my way.
グループになって探してるんだから、当然近くにいるはずだよな。呼んできてよ、宝を。
Oh!
今日はあんたら、こことは反対側を探すっつってたよな。
What if they're in on it? What if Takara manipulated Kido?
呼び出せないのは、置いてきたからじゃねえの。
Aw, poor Takara! You left him like a puppy! Matsuda listened silently as I backed him up. Had he known I was there all along? Hello there, Akirare. Welcome to the stream.
なるほど。とにかくこっからは遠い場所で探索してる予定だったんだな。
うん。今日はそういう分担にしたから。
Okay.
あ？てめえら結託してやがったのか。
そんなのはどうでもいい。納得のいく説明しろ。そしたら話してやる。
うるせえ！話せ！
Uh-oh. Kido's elbow connected with Matsuda's chin. Oh no!
松田!
What? I was about to dash over to him, but although he swayed, Matsuda remained firmly planted on his feet. He spat bloody saliva onto the ground. Thankfully, it looked like it was just a split lip.
だよ。あんたが強引なことしてくから正当防衛だよ。
好きなだけ暴れりゃいいけど、
Oh,
説明あるまで
no.
この場から逃がす気ねえからな。
Scary Matsuda.
この野郎。
こっちのセリフだ。
Matsuda's lip was swelling up, but his face remained impassive as he faced Kido with a quiet dignity. Though he clearly wasn't as indifferent about this as his demeanor suggested, not judging by the way his eyes were set on the other man.
おとなしくしてれば手荒なことはしねえ。
Abruptly, he bore down on Kido with such speed, I thought he was going to headbutt him.
あ？誰に向かって言ってんだ？
あんた以外にいねえだろ。
わかったよ。じゃあお望み通り暴れてやるよ。その方が簡単だもんな。あらぬ疑いをかけられてんだから正当防衛だよな。
Man, if only Matsuda treated me like that. No! Azuma is not like that, everyone! Kido yanked his arm in Matsuda's grasp and... Using the momentum, he rushed in as Matsuda stumbled. Kido's free fist swung straight for Matsuda's face. Oh my god! Matsuda, go kill him! Instinctively, I let out a cry. Matsuda sucked in a breath as he somehow managed to deflect Kido's heavy blow by raising his other arm. In that moment, as Matsuda's grip on him relaxed, Kido managed to shake him off.
逃がす気はねえっつっただろ。
Oh my god! But Matsuda quickly grabbed hold of Kido's head with one large hand. Oh my god! As Matsuda threw his full weight behind his arm, Kido lost his balance and fell backward. I'm scared. Kido landed hard on his back on the ground. Matsuda came down on top of him, then quickly righted himself. In the next instant, Matsuda shoved Kido's face against the ground and straddled him, pinning his arms under his weight.
たくやれやれだな。
I'm scared.
悪いけど、ちょっと気力探してもらうわ。
Oh my god! Without a moment's hesitation, Matsuda brought his fist down on Kido's face. There was a sickening crunch, like bone grinding against bone. Oh! Oh! Oh my god! This time there was a crack. Blood spurted from Kido's nose.
おお、まだ元気か。結構結構。
I'm scared now, guys. I think Matsuda might be the killer. Tum, tum, tum. Red stained Matsuda's fist, and droplets of blood flecked his face. Tum, 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 tum. The relentless thuds of fists against flesh sapped the energy from me, and I wasn't even involved in the fight. But Matsuda appeared unfazed. His fist moved with cold, mechanical regularity. Is he actually gonna kill Kido? There's no way. Though Kido continued to struggle, attempting to fight back, he was slowly but surely crushed beneath the relentless assault from above. Oh my god. Gradually, his movements died down as his resistance weakened. Or so I thought. Next instant, he suddenly slammed a fist into Matsuda's side. Oh! Matsuda's eyes flew wide, and he froze momentarily. Kido smirked through the blood covering his face, as though he'd succeeded at some plan he had. Oh no. But then, Matsuda's wide, dark eyes fell to Kido's face.
水落ちもうちょっと上
When he resumed punching, the storm of his fist was even more violent than before. Oh my god! Punch his balls, yeah, circumcise him. He was relentless, like a machine performing a designated task. Glistening threads of clear, vicious fluid mixed with scarlet blood stretched out between Kido's face and Matsuda's hand, then snapped, then reformed again and again.
なんで
I'm so scared. What is that face? Matsuda tilted his head to the side, eyes still wide and black pupils dilated. The corners of his lips curved upward slightly, as though he was genuinely curious to hear the answer. Matsuda was clearly in the dominant position here, but was I just gonna stand there and watch? Oh no, of course, call for help! Wait, okay, this is weird. This is another weird thing, everyone, in my guide here. They said here, call for help. This one, not help. Call for help, not this one. So I guess let's go with call for help. Or would it be better to call for help? I didn't really want to watch someone beating another guy to a pulp. Is that... This is a bit weird, wait a minute. Guys, if we're not going with that, does that mean Matsuda is a bit scary? It's not. As much as I would love to say something, I noticed something. The other choices are from another ending. That's all I can say. I don't want to spoil it, but like, I feel like if we went too hard on Matsuda, it might be a bad thing. I didn't really want to watch someone beating another guy to a pulp. I needed someone who could be a voice of reason, like Shimada or Hongo.
だって二人がどこにいるか知らねえじゃん
What about Ask Takara right now? They'd both be off doing their own thing. How could I go get someone when I didn't even know where to find them? Hello there, Adness. Is it end already? I mean, we're about to end later. We already finished, what's the person? Mitsugi's route. Now we're going with Matsuda. Was there really nothing I could do? Fuck. Just then, Kido's muscles seemed to bulge. Digging his elbows into the dirt, he flipped himself over. Taken by surprise by the sudden counterattack, Matsuda fell to the side. You had the grandma drama? Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Adness. You can still watch them. And the VOD. Kido took the chance to crawl away on his hands and knees, then scramble to his feet.
待てよ
But Matsuda quickly righted himself and stood up too. Kido swayed on his feet, his face a bloodied mess.
来るんじゃね
He blinked hard, seemingly having a hard time focusing.
え嫌だね
Matsuda braced himself and raised his arm. I'm scared. Ah! His first struck Kido on the chin, and Kido's eyes rolled back in his head. He staggered backward, blood spraying from his split lip. With a dull tongue, his head snapped back against the outer wall of that bunker behind him, and he swayed again, and dropped to his knees. Blood dripped from his downturned face to stain the ground below. A shudder ran through him, but made no move to get up.
東ロープ持ってこい
わかった
I'd already set off running by the time it occurred to me Rope? Where the fuck was I gonna get rope?
無茶ぶりすぎねあいつ。
I rush around the nearby abandoned buildings until I come across some plastic packing string. Together we bound Kido up while he was still out of it from the blow to his head. The loud crack of the impact to his head against stone had made my blood run cold, but he was managing to sit up cross-legged, so he was probably okay, right? Though his face was definitely fucked. Oh my god.
松田、さっき言ってたのってマジ？
I am definitely scared of Matsuda now. Imagine if Bea was here. If he sees everything that Matsuda's been doing. Everything you thought Matsuda was not. He was scary. I voiced my burning question. Matsuda gave me a quizzical look.
木戸さんが食料を取ったってやつ。
He's actually Yakuza?
ああ、この人が中に貯蔵庫に入ってってポケットに何か入れて出てくるとこまで見た。
So he is the stealer. Kido's hands were bound behind him with string wrapped around his torso. As far as I could tell, his pants pocket seemed flat. I went and crouched down in front of him and stuck my hand in his pocket. He seemed resigned now and made no move to resist. But there was nothing in his pocket. Okay, but there's nothing in his pocket. Where is it then? What?
取っ組み合いしたり逃げたりしてる時にどこかで落としたのかもな。
Matsuda, what are you trying? I'm scared, guys. What? That's a bit off. Who do we believe, Kido or Matsuda?
あんな殴り合いしてたらね。
I mean, come on, that... I'm scared. It wasn't like Matsuda would lie about something like this. I pulled my hand out of Kido's pocket, got to my feet, and looked down at him. How was I supposed to process all this? I felt kind of sorry for Kido when he was being ostracized after the fire. Then I'd be pleased when he seemed he was to be mellowing out a bit. And when he joined the food gathering squad in support of Matsuda, I'd felt like he was really becoming a part of the group. Had all that been for nothing?
木戸さんさ、一緒に頑張るっつってたじゃん。
この人連れて一旦戻ろう。
Oh my god. Matsuda heaved a deep sigh and stared off into the distance as though he didn't even want to look at Kido.
そろそろみんなも広場に集まってるはずだ。
If it had turned out that the person who sneaked into our storehouse was the same guy who people already suspected of starting the fire. Before we knew who it was, I'd been filled with righteous anger toward the culprit. Now I just felt empty. Okay. Matsuda looked like he felt the same way. I wasn't gonna get all high and mighty about being betrayed by someone I trusted or anything like that. It was just that the direction we, or at least Matsuda and I, were trying to go in was different to the one Kido wanted. And perhaps that was all there was to it. Huh, weird, everyone thinks.
配給の前にみんなに知らせておきたいことがある。
There's something a bit weird. So throwing fists was for nothing? I mean, Matsuda said that the food was dropped. But then, if it was dropped, why Matsuda would forget about it? We need that food, so he needs to find that. So I don't know who to believe here, Matsuda or Kido. But from what I've noticed, yeah, we can definitely tell that Azuma didn't like Matsuda. Like, a lot. We can clearly see that. There's a difference with hate or awkwardness when we're with Matsuda, though. And difference with Mitsugi. So, that's a bit weird. And I think we're gonna be continuing Matsuda's route tomorrow. Don't forget, okay? Because tomorrow we're gonna be playing this game. Hopefully I know where this is. Hopefully we can play this game tomorrow, okay? But we're gonna be continuing this route with Matsuda. But what are your thoughts so far on Matsuda's route? I'm actually scared what's gonna happen because here I'm gonna tell you guys a spoiler. So this is not really a spoiler, but in one of the bad endings of Matsuda, you're supposed to you're supposed to help. Yeah, you're supposed to help. But for the good end, same thing with it felt good. Wait, no, I don't remember what it was. What was the other choice? Yeah, Matsuda has an alibi for the initial stealing, unless he made it look like stuff was stolen ahead of time to pin it on someone else. Why is this more confusing than Mitsugi? I know! I thought we're gonna be done with the whole thing. The whole confusing, all the violence, actually. But no, it's more. Oh my god. So yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe that. But don't worry everyone, we'll learn. Okay? But this is what they said. It's better to play Mitsugi and Matsuda and then Takara. So we'll see, okay? So we'll see what happens next in Matsuda's route tomorrow, in tomorrow's stream. We're gonna be streaming the same time at 9 p.m. Even the UI is lying to us. This game is crazy. I mean, if you wanna go for the yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's more crazy. Anyways, join us tomorrow because we're gonna be having an early stream tomorrow. Yes, we're gonna be... I can still hear the music, by the way. Join us tomorrow because we're gonna be playing... we're gonna be having a collaboration with Ishiro at around 6 p.m. It's gonna be early, okay? Mostly early in our other streams. It's like it's 3 hours early because we just streamed at 9 p.m. today. So we're gonna be streaming at 6 p.m. and after that we're gonna be playing Paradise afterwards. So yeah. He looks somewhat normal. Somewhat normal. Okay, that's 6 a.m. for me. I'm very sorry, Spinde. Yeah, that's very early. But you have work though, Spinde. So you could really be listening this while you're taking a shower or something. Or no. Yoshi is a bit more experienced, eh? What do you mean? What do you mean? I played Peak before. I've even collaborated with... I almost got to the end. I played it with another VTuber last year. I'm good at that game. We'll see tomorrow. We're gonna be playing Peak with Shiro tomorrow, okay? And after that, we're gonna be continuing Matsuda's route. Let's see what happens next. Will we able to continue the game? Or will we get to see Matsuda even more scarier? Oh, you work from home. So I wake up at like 7. Oh, okay. I thought Peak like a word, not a game. Oh, you don't know the Peak game? Well, you'll get to see tomorrow. But anyways, I just want to say thank you to everyone that had followed us for today. Thank you so much. Ledcheck Uy for subbing to us. Thank you Moxie for subbing to us as well. And thank you Hey Hayden 22 for following us. Thank you Renz the First for following us. And then thank you Only Follow Bottoms for following us. And thank you Ghosty FPS for following us. Guess what? What? Guess what? 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 Ah! No! Why would you do that? Oh my god. But yeah, not only we, you know, a lot of the interesting things happened today. We finished, we finished Mitsugi's route today, and we started Matsuda's route today as well. And you know, same as that one viewer that chatted to us earlier, we thought that's gonna be much more easier or understandable on this route, on Matsuda's route, but no, it's more complicated and confusing. So we'll see what happens next. Okay? Stop! I'll sleep now. Okay, I need to wake up early and get energized tomorrow because we're gonna be having a collaboration with Ishiro Inu again. I don't know who that person is, but I'll get to know them tomorrow. Anyways, that is it for now, guys. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another stream. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone.